Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host, joined by a rabble of a crew. As you can see, Sports Talk, City Look TV, Danny, Spartacus have all joined us. Daps may join us in a bit. Don't know. We're waiting. So, good evening, gentlemen. How are we all?
All good, bro. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much.
I'm all the better for seeing you, Martin.
Do you know what? I was just a special shout out to Luke. It is 9:10. Now, Luke is normally in the land of nod at this point.
I'm getting there. I'm full of cold.
So
full of cold as well.
No,
I will. You'll have me for the full show.
Before we get going and say some hellos in the chat, thank you so much, mate. Really do appreciate it. You didn't have to do it. It means a lot. And you know what that means?
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Mingy Wong, Fig, Dash, Mark Fogg, Salem, Arsenal Way, The Lookout Show, Sky Blue MCFC, Trafford Tunnel, Lee Gates is with us. Thank you very much, mate. The Blue Wave is with us. And we're getting everyone from Chelsea to Arsenal to Timbuktu tonight. Big up, Never a Foul. Speaking of Never a Foul, is here. Evening.
Oh, evening. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your intro and that.
You know how it is. Hey, you know what my shows are like? They're a bit more casual, mate. Go with it.
Got the fucking flu in I. Got the flu, so I'm going to get pissed and then maybe I won't.
We've defo's got that from Sunday, you know.
Nah, Bo, I've got it from every member of my family, I think. I can't even call it. It could have been Sunday. Could have been the train home on Monday. Could have been my daughter. Could have been my brother. Could have been anyone. And could have been work.
Out, man. It's horrible.
I think maybe that's what's going around City.
Maybe. Yeah. That's where the injuries
are. If you had ever membership off Luke or anyone, please remember to say thank you in the comments. It is the season of goodwill to all men, women and children and animals and whoever else. But say thank you.
I'm normally a Scrooge, so I thought I'd spread some...
Can we set something? I don't know where he is. I know it's late over there, but can we do something like 100 likes and Alan has to come on the show, please?
Nope.
No.
I need some negative vibes. I know Alan will bring them.
Good evening, Hannah. Spared us. Good evening, mate.
That will be my bedtime call when he appears.
Jessica, thank you. I did get your message. I will respond to it. Don't worry, we'll get you on another show. We'll do it at your leisure. Do not worry about it. But thank you for the support, Jessica. Really do appreciate it. Andy as well. Good evening, Blue Heart, my old mucker. How are you, mate? Andy Sanchez is with us. Evening and Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, however, happy holidays, however you celebrate it. We will do that at the end, I'm sure. Should I take over Luke's space if he leaves early? More than welcome later on, mate. No, yes, I am going to talk to Brixio before we get into it, because I thought we'd talk about all the Christmas fixtures. It's my favourite time of the year, this footballing wise, because it's like
usually.
Yeah, it is usually.
Yeah, could be bad.
Oh, the best time of the Christmas period so far has been the last 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure you want to see us play every 3 days, to be honest.
I mean, when we have no game. Well, I don't know. Diaz is injured now.
We weren't worried about Villa away anyway. We weren't worried about Villa away anyway, just to make it that little bit more.
Yes, Fabrizio, I've dropped a tweet in the last hour, or I don't know if it was a tweet or whether it was a podcast, saying City could make up to 2 or 3 signings in Jan with a new midfielder to be looked at to replace Rodri as an act as a backup once he returns, left back and a striker wants to watch if City come across any interesting opportunities.
So that's negative news because we got told 4 and now it's down to 3. Cheers, Fabrizio.
Well, are you including Echeverria?
No.
Okay, I didn't think you would.
Well, at this point, we probably do have to include him. Yeah, honestly, we do actually.
It's just anyone who's coming in, really, isn't it?
Oh, just bodies. We need bodies.
I mean, I would, but I'm his agent, as Martin knows. So.
But if you can defend, bro, I got asked the other day, Calvin Phillips.
No. We're not that desperate.
Oh,
No, we're not that.
Are we not?
desperate,
Hold on, are we not?
No.
Are we really not?
we're down bad, but we're not that down bad, though.
Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of Calvin Phillips' last games for Manchester City, yeah, one of his, maybe not his last one, he played centre-back and actually had a good game.
Pre-season, yeah.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
Good
So-
game.
So right now, with the state of play and where we are, yeah.
I get where you're coming from.
Even,
No, I do.
and I'm
I
not
get
saying
it.
you blame. I'm not. This sounds mental because I wasn't pro Phillips at the best of times. When we signed him, I wasn't pro Phillips. But like, if we could play him, say Everton at home, I don't know, or maybe one of those games, and it gives some of the other defenders a rest because the whole.
But I would rather play Simpson Pusai.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would
maybe,
think so as well.
maybe. But I'm just saying, like, my biggest worry is, yeah, tomorrow. So now the looks is we're going to play Stones and Akanji. Neither of them are fit, right? We know they're not fit.
No, I think Stones has trained all week, to be fair.
Yeah, but Stones can train all month. He's still
Yeah.
not fit, bro. We know what Stones is like.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the Alan until he gets here. Then I'll go back to positive me. But it's just...
Yeah, but what are you doing here, Dabs? This is not
No,
like you. You're like me. What you doing?
typical City. I've gone back into ultimately what I've known for over half of my life, and that's to worry. Like it's,
No, it isn't.
just-
'cause
Oh, I've never had that worry go
we're in
away.
the
but-
top five. That isn't what you've known half your life.
yeah, true. Very true. Very, very true. Do you know what? On the way up last weekend, I felt like a prick, to be fair, afterwards. So obviously on the way up on the Saturday night, there was a lot of Everton on the train. And I was speaking to a few of them. It was very interesting what they had to say about Liverpool fans, by the way. Very interesting. But that's a different show.
Yeah.
But I was saying we're shit at the moment. He goes, think about it. He goes, you don't look young. He goes, are you really shit at the moment? And it makes you think, yeah, you know what? You're right. But I've been saying this for the last 6 weeks. And we all know the answer, but is it better to have never seen, or is it better to be born blind, or is it better to be able to see and then have your sight taken away? Because Martin, you know, as kids growing up, yeah, and anyone else that's kind of around my and Martin's age, we didn't go to football to watch City win. City winning was a bonus, right? We didn't, bro. Like the truth is, we didn't. We went just because that's what we do. That's what we were born doing. We went to.
I think anyone who's like age 16 to like 18 now has been blessed.
Yeah. So, but now,
Fuck me, man.
I always said, I never wanted to be like United fans, Arsenal fans, predominantly United and Arsenal fans who really got upset every time the team lost, and because that isn't what we were like as kids. Whereas now, because we've been blessed so much, it hurts when we lose. It does.
Oh yeah, 100%.
One thing before we go, because I know Spartacus or Danny will have heard of this guy. Lakishmi. Sorry if I've said that name totally wrong. My apologies. I want to make sure I say your name right. Anyone seen the Benfica left back Alvaro Carolas?
Oh yeah,
I actually haven't seen him.
yeah, I have. Apparently he's been good for Benfica. I knew him because he came through at United. He scored a good goal against our EDS a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, is it the other fullback for Benfica? He's crap then. The one who's from us, Cabora.
Yeah. No, but this
I don't
guy
even
came through
think he
United,
plays.
Spanish guy. He's all right. Apparently, he's been smashing it. But I haven't like actually watched him for a couple of years. Not since
I would
academy.
agree with that. By the way, Rico, well done. Congratulations on your season ticket at the new stadium. I have heard it's complete. And I've got to say, it does look.
Was that?
I can't wait to get to it as an away fan, personally. But we'll see.
Whose stadium? Everton's.
The Everton one.
Bramley Dock, yeah.
I think
Looks
it's
nice.
Don't you think it looks a little bit underwhelming?
Nah.
I think Everton fans will take a long time to get used to it. From what you remember when we came out of Main Road and we felt like we were going in NCP car park.
Yeah.
Because there was no branding, there was nothing. It was just like.
But even
grey. It was grey dull. That was
if
it.
you go back and look at it now, go back and look at the Etihad when we moved to it compared to it now. You hardly recognise it, do you? It looks completely different.
No. I am going to do a show on that in the new year. I'm going to do a show from Main Road to the Etihad, and I've got photos of what it used to look like. people will be astonished what the Etihad first.
Yeah,
It was
But
mad.
it's
It was
mad.
mad how
City
like
Manchester Stadium, and
Yeah.
you'll know what I mean when I call it an NCP car park.
Yeah.
It
you
looked
know-
like a car park. That was
My
it.
sister's company's involved in the expansion at the moment, so she's there every week. So she's giving me updates on it.
I was just there now. I was at Asda.
How's it looking? I don't mean Asda, by the way.
Asda. It's very
How's
building
Asda?
like.
How's Asda?
Asda was actually quiet. It wasn't busy. It was one of them.
I've
Right.
got beef with that Asda. It always never used to have the alcohol I wanted
You've
when
got
I was
me.
getting the
I am
train.
going to go into this first, and
that
then we're
was
going to
so
kick on with the what we're going to do. This is your chance. It's no longer 31p, it's 39p. So ignore the 31, it's 39p. I need to update the picture, but football prizes are giving you a chance to win 2 hospitality tickets for City versus Everton on Boxing Day. So go and wine and dine yourself for the 39p. There are nearly 2,500 tickets. I know a few have been sold. Over 200 have been sold already. You have got loads of chances. 39p a ticket. The draw is open until Monday, the 23rd of December. So what a late Christmas present this could be. Mega chances to get other prizes as well. And you get a double. If you find the ticket 1,000, you win another 2 hospitality tickets. So if you get your ticket and you hit that 1,000 one, you get 4 tickets basically.
Martin's the new Mr. Beast.
There you go.
Any of you watched that yet, by the way?
No.
I watched like the one where it goes from like 2,000 to 1,000 on YouTube.
You seen he's on Amazon now, isn't he?
Yeah,
on
but like
Amazon.
they do like they've
Bro,
done like an
yeah.
advertisement for it. Like,
Hey, I'll let you
so
into a little secret.
they did like a competition. So from
He's your
2,000 to the
He's your
1,000.
son.
I'm going to speak with Fair Girls afterwards because after Christmas, because we are going to sort out some merchandise here on the Mancunian way, and I'm going to sort out a deal where, and this is just the way I want to do it. I haven't spoke to the lads, so they're going to kill me with this. Where 50% of the profits will go into the channel, and the other 50% will go to the Alzheimer's and Dementia Society. So I don't just want it all going into the channel. We're going to do it some for the Alzheimer's and dementia as well, because it is something close to my heart. I always will be. And I'm going to see that if I'm allowed to get Main Road Wanker t-shirt going. I'm genuinely going to see if I can get a Main Road
Good quality, by the way, as well.
I'll be the first one behind it.
Genuinely, because I'm like, obviously not the wank, but obviously, you know, with like apostolics and all that sort of going on. But
have you got many of them through
wrong
the have you had many of them messages, by the way, over the last like 6 to 8 weeks off of people saying,
I've got a guy and I'm calling him out. I don't care. Echeverry season, who's hashtag Main Road Mob out, who hates me, Tom, Big Steve, you, and I think somebody else don't like. And there was others as well. SBM, he don't like the Main Road Mob. He calls us a cancer of this fan base.
I got called it the other day, and I was a bit baffled.
I'm like, what's going on?
Because I'm 26. I'm a bit out of your age range. Am I not a City of Manchester Stadium wanker?
Probably.
You can be a comms wanker then.
You're just a wanker, full stop, man.
No, comms. City of Manchester Stadium, that's what it was called, comms.
Oh. Yeah, I'll be the comms wanker. I'll be the only one. Maybe me and LB.
Yeah, there is a YouTube channel that does the Etihad.
yeah, I've seen that.
Update.
Is that the drone
Did it
footage
for
one?
Everton. Yeah, the drone mob.
I tell you what,
right.
a few what's it called? I've just realised this because who was it that was Paul McCartney, wasn't it, that was there last Sunday?
Yeah.
Actually, Martin, what time did you leave? When did you leave last Sunday? Did you stay to the end?
I missed it. I just landed at Prague as the kick. Landed from Prague as the kicks off.
What about you, Luke? What time did you leave?
I left about 89th minute.
Yeah.
I think it was one ball that Kovacic trying to play through. Grealish didn't win it, and I thought, "Fuck this, we're not coming back here."
I left when they scored the penalty. I just went then.
He's on loan, mate.
I think I tried to stay out of false hope that we would get an equaliser, and it never came.
Blackburn wanker.
Whoa, Dash! Well, I'm fast.
That's a bit harsh.
Well,
Well, we got the American wanker in the bottom, in the middle.
It's from
the
Middlesbrough.
Brazilian wanker there on the bottom
Well, I'm
right.
not
We are
from-
just coming up with random names here.
That's you know this. I'm not from. I live
Right.
here, unfortunately. I live here.
Luton,
My
thank
Blackburn.
you so much for this, mate. Didn't need to do it,
Slow
but
wanker.
appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you, lads. Top panel of blues. Celebrity Marty, give us that Xmas special transfer news. Don't you start.
Yes, Tone.
Love
Do you know,
to all.
Martin, actually, I need to send a super chat in and thank you, firstly, actually, for actually, I'm going to thank you now, Bo, for coming on Never a Foul every Monday, yeah, the midday show. Obviously, I can't because I'm at work, but I do have to thank you because I know that is the hardest show to go on, especially at the moment after most of our performances on the weekend, to go and face the them lot on a Monday. So I do appreciate it a lot because I know.
No, anytime, mate. You know me. You know I don't skirt.
Yeah,
I've
but I know
never
that.
done.
I know that
don't
panel.
know.
They're just a bunch of. I mean, they're my friends.
Do you know
but
what's
they're a
really
bunch of
scary?
idiots.
Monts is absolutely brilliant.
He's an actor, bro. That's why he's
Monts
so good.
is real because I'm like, why is Hussam sending me a message calling me a fraud? What's that about?
What
Why is he
now?
calling me a fraud?
Now, who knows? Hold tight,
Well,
with Sam.
No, he just called me a fraud. I don't know why. And then asked me to come on a show.
Well, that's a Sam. That's a Sam, isn't it? That's, a Sam.
I know.
That's just a Sam,
Merry
innit?
Christmas to Sam. I know you
Right,
don't
if you-
celebrate, but Merry Christmas.
Professional sad fan, thank you for your very generous donation, mate. If you're making merch and we found innocent merch, we got away with it. Don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to put a post out after Christmas. We're going to come up with some new ideas on what we can do with that. Mark Fogg, thank you so much. It is every single show, mate. 10, 20, honestly, and these people will know. You are a living legend, Mark Fogg. Every single
Hope you're doing
show.
well, by the way.
Yeah. Much love to you. Thoughts and prayers are with you,
Oh,
mate.
man.
I'm not going to go into it. It's private, but you are a living legend, Mark Fogg. Thank you so much. City Luke, I forget. V8, seeing how we're dropping. I just realised what you meant. But yeah, because of that.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
It's the only time you'll see Pep happy now.
You're lucky.
Talking of Pep, did any of you lot hear the? I think someone said to
Oh.
me they'd seen it. Yeah,
If you're on about rumours,
yeah,
no.
mental, isn't they?
No,
Insane.
we're not doing the
We're
rumours.
not going into
No,
it.
no.
Yeah, you all know which one I mean, right? You know which one I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But apparently they've moved to the women's side of the club now, so it's all over and done with. As if, like, yeah, you know.
Do you know what? I'm
Fucking-
waiting for like.
You've gone from dark chocolate and milk chocolate, and like, you know,
scandal to
you've gone
walk
back
out of
to
City
white.
at some point with everyone having this huge sex ring going on. Everyone's just interacting with everyone. Kyle Walker and Pep and Grealish and everyone. I just what's going on?
Apparently, some are part of like a Chinese betting ring as well.
what? I
That's
haven't heard
the
that
thing.
one. I haven't heard that one.
Did you not
I've
hear the
heard
latest
that
one?
one a
Told
while
me
ago.
one. Did you all hear the one about Foden having a vasectomy and that's why he was out of games?
Yeah. I
I got told
Oh,
it.
Well, the
I
mad
got
thing
told
is,
it wasn't even bronchitis; it was him smoking bud or something.
well, I got told another one last week by like one of our own, and he and it's like, come on, you're talking nonsense now, like, and I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, 100%. I thought it's not 100%, is it? It's just people coming up with crap, man.
Yeah, then his missus is pregnant again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that one. I heard he's got a fourth kid on the way as well.
He's been fucking busy, if that's the
Well,
case.
at that point, well, listen, if he's got, how dare he have sex with bronchitis? That's what I would say. If he's got
Right, I'm going to start sports talk. I'm going to come to you, mate, first of all. How are you feeling about Villa? Let's start with the first one. Villa, tomorrow, 12:30.
Prior to today's news about Diaz's injury, I would have said a draw. I would have thought a draw because Villa themselves are not looking too great either. So I thought we could eke out a draw. Now with Diaz missing, crikey, it could get bad. It could get bad. It's hard to be optimistic right now, especially with the injury. It just seems like there's more. I'm just dreading looking at the news about City, just knowing that maybe another injury anytime soon. So We'd be lucky if we just lose 2-0. Put it that way. We'd be lucky if we just get away with a 2-0 loss to Villa.
Okay. Well, who else wants to jump on that one? How are we feeling about Villa?
I don't think the team is that weak. The problem is we might get another injury during the game, and then if that happens, we just write the season off, I guess. Because I don't trust Just Stones no more, and Akanji is just coming back from injury as well. He just came back before and got injured in the same game. So yeah, I'm just scared of injuries.
See, I don't know. I look at every game as a chance to stop the rot, and for some reason, I think we're going to typical City this and actually win it, and then draw to Everton or something. But again, the injuries don't help. But it's not like we're throwing a terrible team out there or anything.
I don't think we are worse than Villa at all. I think we're just as good. It's going to be a 50-50 game. The only thing can actually stop us is we getting another freak injury and just another defender out, and then it's just a joke at this point, isn't it?
I think my biggest issue now is where we are. Is someone just said about the rut, and I think that's the issue. Like, look, I saw Luke at half time when we were 1-0 up against United, and no one was like, it's usually when we're 1-0 up in a derby or when we're, the mood at half time, everyone's singing, everyone's chanting. It's all, everyone was just kind of like, you know what, if we get through this, and it was more let's just get through this. And that's how I saw it, because I know you can't turn around these things overnight, right? It takes a run of games. It takes winning a game, however you have to win a game, moving on to the next one, building up a bit of confidence, especially with players like Foden. Because we got to remember, Foden, I don't think Foden was bad in the derby, by the way. And I think
I agree with that.
Off the back of that, if we won 1-0, it'd be right, cool, on to the next one. And I would expect Foden to then play better the next game, because that's what all these players need, is just a couple of wins to start lifting it. And that's, I've mentioned it earlier on LB's show, that I just think the impact of the players' confidence, and every time we lose. And the worst thing is, I think going 1-0 up and then losing 2-1 to United, the impact of that on our mentality and our confidence. And like players like Vardiel, who's been so good this season, but now because Vardiel, who's been playing left back all season, is being forced into playing in a position ultimately he hasn't played for a while. Now people are going, oh, Vardiel's not looking too good. It's like, right, so now even one of our confident players is going to start losing their confidence. And it's just, I think someone said about the typical City thing. I've seen a few people say that. I'll take that. I don't care how we win a game. I just want to, and that's why I keep looking at that Nottingham Forest game where we played well, 4 centre-backs.
Clean sheet.
Everything was great, but the injuries just killed us. And from there, it's like, great, we're back to the drawing board again. It's like, you know what, when things are going well for you, they just go well for you. You make your own luck. And at the moment, nothing is going right for us. Even like Haaland, I think, against Palace, chipped the keeper and he saved it with his head or something, right? Or maybe it was Juventus or something.
Juventus.
Just those little moments. Last season, that would have gone in. But it's just everything is going wrong for us. And it's just, we just need a break. We need a break. And look, if it comes off the back of Haaland's left bollock tomorrow, then I don't care. We just need... This team needs a win so we can start building on something.
I just think...
But we had that win, didn't we, against Forest, and you thought that would be the one that would kickstart something?
Yeah. It was just but the injuries killed us. That was the thing. It could have, but then the injuries killed us.
Here's a thought, and again, I'm just throwing this out there for you guys to comment on. Do you feel like some of the players in the team, especially the more senior ones, the more experienced, are losing trust and faith in some of the other newer signings that have come along and thinking, hold on, how have I gone from playing with Sane and Mahrez to playing with Nunes and I don't again.
Have you got a player on your mind?
I don't think it's anything like that. Nah.
I
think
can
there
see
is a little
Bernardo
bit.
Silva thinking that a little bit.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That
I think that
he made after the derby about. I think I'm sure he called it out a little bit on Nunes and all that, but it's just the way he commented afterwards, saying that is a simple pass. Like we had a corner, how's the ball ended up all the way back to our side? Almost gives you that feeling of whether they're thinking, hold on, like what level of players are we now playing with compared to what we used to once play with? I do feel like there's an element of that there somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like they don't trust the back line enough. I feel like the only game that we had a proper back line was the game against Forest, and the players were passing the ball faster, they were taking more risks, and we played better offensive football. But when we don't have a back line of players that are all both fit and on good form, I don't think the attacking players trust the back line enough to try something different, to be a little bit faster, to not needing to make extra sure that the passes go right. And I think that's the thing that's really destroying us.
But then if that's the case, how would we end up in that situation where from that corner that Bernardo made reference to, that all of a sudden where the area you consider weakness, you suddenly ended up putting that pressure back on yourselves by going all the way back? I'm not sure if there's an element of there's doubt about the defense, but I do think some of the individuals, again, I may be reading this too much, where they're thinking all up, like where the levels that we dropped off from, how we ended up in a situation where now we've got signings like some of the players we have.
Let's take
I hear that a little bit. I do hear that a bit. I think as a man that overthinks everything and is a strong believer in the power of the mind, I think that's something that we've always had such great control of. We've had a mentality that's special, right? And I've said this years ago about Liverpool. The season Liverpool dropped off after they won the league, that everything can be fine. One or two injuries often don't cause everything to crumble. And even if you look at us this season, we didn't have Rodri at the start of the season. So although everyone will look at Rodri and will blame the Rodri injury, the truth is we carried on winning without Rodri, right? It was when Rodri was out, then Kovacic was out, and then all of a sudden we haven't got Diaz and we haven't got Stones, and all of a sudden, and then you have to, if you look in any job that anyone is in, if you're not performing, your manager speaks to you slightly differently, right? And that impacts your mind, that impacts your confidence, it impacts your ability, your willingness to do whatever that manager's asking you to do, and that will impact you. I think Savio's a great example. When Savio arrived at the club, what I loved about Savio was his decision-making, that sometimes he would take a man on, and I mean in first game I saw Savio, second game, third game, sometimes he'd take a man on, but he would never risk losing the ball. His decision-making seemed on point. However, the more games he went without getting a goal or assist, all of a sudden his decision-making started to change because he was chasing a goal. And now, because we haven't got multiple players scoring, it's more pressure on Savio. So now Savio's overthinking everything.
Do you think he's just trying to constantly, I've noticed it a few times, I agree with what you're saying, but I think there's this harness on him to try and get this first goal to open his account.
100%, and that's exactly what I'm saying. And whereas if you look at his first couple of games, his objective was never, I must score a goal. You could see his decision-making was right. I'm probably not going to get a goal here. I know what Pep likes. Keep the ball. It was almost like the perfect balance between Grealish and Doku, knowing sometimes to try and beat a man, sometimes no, I ain't going to get nowhere there, so just keep the ball. Whereas now, there's none of that thinking with him anymore. It's almost always...
the one who has looked kind of assist-worthy is Nunez on the left. He's actually the only one who's been putting things into the box.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think he's got our most assists, isn't he, Nunez?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole thing with the Villa game. The only thing I'm cautious of is obviously if we have this back line, say Walker, Akanji, Stones, Vardiol, them two being thrown straight in is a worry for injuries.
Yeah.
If one of them picks it up straight away, we're like, oh, well, what the fuck? It just seems at the minute we're one step forward and 7 steps back.
Yeah.
It seems
100%.
like...
And that's the thing, that the likelihood is that by the time Diaz does come back, that one of Stones or Akanji will be injured again because they're not getting a break.
Yeah.
And then that's where I kind of think, do we bring Simpson Pusai in? Like I was watching LB earlier and the argument was going back and forth to Simpson Pusai. Martin, don't point at me like that and throw your hand.
I'm saying no.
What, you don't want to see him in?
I think it's a hard one.
What I'm trying to say is, if you bring him in for the sake of a game or two,
Fuck me, look, are you going on holiday all of a sudden? Where did that
I didn't have a
Andy
Christmas.
Fowler's put in the chat, he's disappointed because we're not wearing Christmas hats. So Luke said, I'm going getting a hat, but it won't be a Christmas one. So he's come out with his summer one.
Don't know where I've got a city one somewhere, but I don't know.
Do you know what? I'm going to
I
start
have got a
wearing
Christmas
this.
hat, but it's red. That's why.
Oh,
Let
no.
me know. Let me know
No,
in the comments below.
I've got a city one.
Do people want me to wear this for the streams?
Yes.
I'll start wearing
Yes.
it. I'll be a prime mutton.
That's class.
I'll be a prime mutton apprentice.
And see if you can get. I don't know if you've seen before, but you can get a City Hawaiian shirt as well. Get that to go with it.
Can you?
I'm not in the best of shape to start advertising Hawaiian shirt.
Is that from
I
Ginger
saw-
Wig?
Nah, do you know what? I can't remember where we were. Me and Steve.
Well, look,
saw
I can
old
even
man
push it
wearing
down.
one.
It's got
Decent.
anchors
Was
on.
it on Terrace Cult, was it?
No. Now we saw someone wearing one, and we were like, "That shirt's mint."
By the way, I've got to say that new jacket on Terrace Cult looks very nice. Got to say,
very, very nice.
Great clubber.
Get over there, Terrace Cult.
Yeah, nice little plug there.
Steve can pay me later.
Yeah, do you know what? Well, we're talking Villa right now, but do we think that we're going to get some transfers through the door early January? Or
yes, 100%.
We must, innit?
Can I throw? All right, stop. I'm going to say
1st of January. Somebody
going to
needs
be
to be
very
like,
quiet.
"Here we go," because
there's one name.
Rashford. No, I'm not doing that.
No.
Man, fuck off.
Listen to me out.
No,
Please. There's a name I've sat on for about 2 weeks, and I got an inkling, and I thought, it's bullshit. I'm not going to mention it. And all I got was "Welcome Home" and a German flag. And I'm sat there.
Right?
Who?
Don't
if that's our first signing, I'll be livid.
Who's
If that's our
6
first
months?
signing.
Who's out of contract in 6 months?
But if you're meaning Leroy Sané, to me, that is one just to try and get some fans back on side. Because
Yeah, I agree.
That's what City would do, Daps.
that's not. No, that isn't. But
I'm not
that's
saying
no,
it's
we
right.
are very rarely the team that go back to players. Gundo
Just
isn't
thought
not.
Gundogan.
But look, I'm not saying. I wouldn't say I love Leroy and I would take him back, but
He's a
it's
completely
one of those
different player,
ones
though.
where it's not what. And furthermore, it's not what we need right now. That would make me worry about where the club's priorities are if we bring back
Martin,
Leroy.
And it makes me question as something else.
Yeah.
Where do you play him now? Because obviously, Bayern, he's become a right winger, whereas when we had him, he's a left winger. And then also, who do you get rid of? Because you're gonna have to get rid of one.
Right, to be
Do
fair.
you know what I'm thinking? I don't think it'll happen. It was just, when you hear these murmurings like the Pogba stuff and all that. And I went, and I sat there and I thought, are we looking at the false nine situation in the wrong way? Are we looking at the backup striker in the wrong way? It would, you know what I mean by this, Daps? It would be so like Pep to go and get
do something
a winger,
random.
to go and get a Sunday who can go. I can play him on the wing and I can play him as false striker.
Yeah,
and do something really stupid.
I hear it, but right now I'm not saying we don't need. I know a lot of the fan base is saying we need another striker urgently. I don't
think we need.
But it's not the urgency, right?
No, it's not.
Urgency is. I'll even be honest with you. Before I look at a DM, I'm looking at centre backs right now, and I'm not even looking at left or right backs because I honestly do believe 4 centre backs for City works for Pep's system. It seems to work. Treble season. Even if we look at the Forest game, I'm not mad if.
How nice would it be to finally have a left back,
mate? We have the perfect player.
Vardio and Ake,
Anthony Robinson.
No, but bro, before we look at left backs, we have to look at if we're going for a fullback. If we're going for a fullback, before we look at left, we have to look at right because on the left we have, when fit, Ake and Vardio are both, in my opinion, in the last 3 seasons, 2 of them have potentially been the best left backs in the league, right? Ake 2 seasons ago and Vardio last season were both very good. Whereas Walker, we know Walker's on the way out. Rico, for me, is not strong enough to be a right back. Before we address the left side, the right side needs addressing more. It does.
Whoever just said Teo Hernandez, don't cock tease me because that is my
But that's the thing.
transfer.
I think Teo is literally perfect for us because he can play centre back, left mid, and also can play wing back as well, like a fine forward wing back.
Or Kimmich.
Yeah,
Don't
I
get
guess
me
Kimmich
excited
as
on
well.
Theo
But
Hernandez.
Theo is just the guy for us. I genuinely think he's perfect.
Just on the back of that point you made, though, going back to the treble season, we were spoilt with for choice when it came centre backs. Well, we had Diaz, Akanji, Laporte was still here as well.
He was, wasn't he? Fucking hell.
Stones.
Ake
That's
Stones.
one we should have never have let go, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we had
But he
five.
wanted to.
Yeah, we had 5 actual out and out centre backs, and with the injuries that we've got, and we've got 2 centre backs there with Ake and Stones. With almost every season, you're guaranteed to get injured with them. Right?
Yeah.
There's more certainty of them being injured than anything else, to be fair. So it's best for us to always be in the situation when we have the extra one there.
I agree.
So, with that being said, what you mentioned there about priorities for the window, I'd be looking at Matt Gay, especially knowing that his contract's over with. In summer, he's going to be a free agent, and the Palace are being linked with McAtee anyway. So there's a sweetener right there. Offer him McAtee, maybe a bit of cash in exchange, and get Gay, because we do definitely need an extra centre back.
Yeah, have we been linked with him at all? I haven't seen. Have we been linked with him?
We were linked with him in the summer, but for this summer,
Right.
on free, and then
I think it was all Newcastle throughout the summer. Newcastle tried on 2 or 3 occasions and got priced out.
Towards the back end of the window, the summer window, we were being linked with him for summer 25 for him as a free agent. I think the past couple of weeks he has been touted again, but it does make sense. I mean, I know there's people.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, there's been mention of Brathwaite and a few others, but out of all the ones,
Brathwaite's another one with injuries.
Yeah, it's probably unlikely, but
yeah,
I tell you what. Now someone's just mentioned him. I'd take Laporte back in a heartbeat, in an absolute heartbeat.
Yes, how no club is
No,
using
I-
Proper defender.
Don't think Pep would.
No, we won't. And I think the problem is now with the Gun. I know Gundogan's a bit different because he's come back as a 34-year-old, but Pep generally doesn't go back to old players. The fact he has with Gundogan, it's gone so badly. He ain't gonna ever do that now, is he? But
I think this is the first example of him doing it since Thiago.
and it's gone and because it's gone badly, he ain't gonna. But I think Laporte, because with Laporte, you've got a player that 1 knows the system, 2 knows the Premier League, and 3 is a damn good centre back.
For me, on his day, he was the best left-footed centre back in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he loves City as well. Like he's still, we still see him tweet stuff. It's not someone.
Well, he went through that whole. Do you remember when he went through that whole half season injured? And then pulled out of the Euros because he was like, I need to win the Premier League.
Yeah. Well,
that just goes to show what player he was.
the season we beat Liverpool, he played through with an injury, didn't he? And ultimately,
that's when he then pulled out of the Euros.
Yeah.
However, we do
love him.
We do have to factor in the age of our centre backs as well. If we bring in another 32-year-old as well,
how old is he? 32.
I'm sure it's about 31, 32.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a long-term deal. Though, give him an 18-month contract.
Yeah.
I suppose
think that's the thing with the January. I think that's the thing with the January transfer window and where we are right now. That I'd rather we were doing that than, like I said this to Martin earlier. I'm not saying I don't want Kieran Wharton long term, but I certainly don't want all the pressure being put on Kieran Wharton, a 20-year-old DM coming in. I do think we need a bit of experience. We can't be bringing in young lads and expecting them to.
What do you think? To play devil's advocate to that,
you're looking at 100 mil to get Wharton in the door.
The only advocate I see, devil's advocate I see to that though is if we haven't written off this season. We're still fighting for top 4. Let's be honest. But what I'm trying to say is it not a smarter thing to kind of get him in the door in January? Say, right, you've got 6 months to kind of just bed in rather than a full first season and then you're ready to go.
Yeah, but for me, Luke, I hear you because
I get where you're coming from. We're going to be hit with a premium tax.
No, that's not what I'm going to say. It's not what I'm going to say. I said this earlier on. I do not think top 4 is even remotely nailed on at this point, right? I don't. I think...
But then that's even more excuse to just go get him in.
No, it's not. Because if we go and get a load of young players, right, then, like, for me, if we get through this season and all we have to show for it is Champions League football next season, then it's a season where I go, fucking hell, we got away lucky because it could have been a lot worse, right? That's where I'm, at the moment, I'm damage limitation. I'll be honest. I was talking about go out of the Champions League because we don't want those extra games because on our squad with the February we already have, it's not going to be good on the squad. So that's where I am. And I think if we bring a load of young players in, that's not going to patch over the cracks. Like, we need 1 or 2 experienced players that can come in and at very least just get us Champions League football nailed on for next season.
Could we maybe move for Bisek from Inter Milan, the 24-year-old?
I think he's just signed a contract extension.
Yeah. Then yeah.
In
That's not
terms
possible
of
anymore.
No, I agree with what you're saying, Daps, to be fair, but it's just more for me.
Honestly, bro, I had this chat with LB and Martin earlier, and they were like saying, calm down, we're definitely going to get top 5. And at the moment, I'll be real with you, I'm nervous.
I think it's how tight it is. Yeah. There's
Have you been listening to Alan?
I have, but I don't know. But I can still. I'll be honest with you. Like someone said to me earlier on, if we beat Villa tomorrow, you'll change your tune, and I will. But I've said this the last 2 seasons where we've went on to win the league. That if I see the desire and the performances from the team, then I'll go, yeah. Because look, I still remember the last 8, 9, 10 years. Right, I haven't forgot them. But at the moment, we are not even a reflection of what we've been in any of those seasons.
I agree.
Let's remember,
100%.
the last time we were outside of the top 4, right, was fucking hell.
Was it Pellegrini? No, it wasn't Pellegrini.
No, it wasn't Pellegrini. It was under
was
Mark
Pep.
Hughes.
It's Mark Hughes.
No, it was under Mark Hughes.
No,
We finished
Pep,
outside.
go back to Pep's first season.
No.
I
I don't
think
mean
it was.
outside. I mean finished outside.
Finish
the top
outside.
Oh, finished
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, it was Mark. It was Mark Hughes.
Mark Hughes.
I swear it was.
It would have been
Yeah.
huge.
Hughes.
Right.
Did Mancini not finish outside of the top
I
4?
think Mancini finished.
Might have. No, I don't think he.
Oh, he
But
got
I
his
swear
Mancini
first
wasn't
season under
here for as
Mancini, we
long-
finished. Nah,
He wasn't
Mancini
here
won the
for as
league
long
in
as
his second
people think
season.
he was, you know.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
won
but
the
in
league
that
his
third
second
season,
didn't
did
he?
he?
Didn't we have a Europa League season early in the 2010s? Like 2010.
We had a Europa League
Yeah.
season
No, that was
with
Mark Hughes.
Mark
Yeah.
Hughes.
Right.
When
That
we got to
Hamburg
the
game
when we
was
got to the
iconic.
quarters, I believe.
Felipe
Lano hit
Felipe
the quarters.
Caicedo, what a player.
So you got to remember, because Mancini came halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to class that as his season he finished? So it's a bit of an hard one.
I'm sure he got us into top 4, didn't he?
He got us in the
His
top
win,
4.
his
Pellegrini
win record was mad, by the way.
because if you
I
remember,
think he had
did
like
we win?
113 wins in like 209
Did we
games
win or
something
draw
like that.
away at Swansea on the last game that got us into the top 4?
Yeah.
Under Pellegrini, we drew 1-1.
Yeah, we drew, and that got us into the top 4. And
Yeah.
then, but he already knew Pep was coming because that was announced
Yeah.
obviously in the Feb, whenever it was.
He didn't give a fuck at that point, did he?
I swear we finished. Didn't we? I
Yeah.
swear we finished 3rd that season, didn't we? In the end?
Yeah.
And then on
Yeah,
the Pep
with
first season,
Yeah.
we were going through this because we got slapped at Everton, slapped at Leicester. We got slapped quite a few places.
It wasn't
in
like
Pep's
this.
first
But
season.
it wasn't like this.
It wasn't in a row. There wasn't in a row. I agree with you.
No, that season was just the players were old. It
Yeah.
wasn't his
I mean,
players.
similar to this season, then.
No, but no one understood. No one stood his way of football. And
Do you know what it is to
you know,
me? Do you
when
know
you're
what
playing
it is?
Kolarov at centre back, and you know,
I look at Villa.
what
I
do
mean,
you
we
call
played Walker centre back.
But look at Villa.
it? Yeah, but not
Villa
compared to
are-
Kolarov and
Villa-
Fernando
Villa-
and Jesus.
Have we got a little bit of, because of the way we're playing at the minute? And I'm going to try. I don't mean trying to turn this into Martin's doing his happy clappy bit. I'm not. I genuinely am not. Villa are actually going through a bit of a topsy-turvy season themselves.
Yeah.
1 week they're amazing. The next minute they're getting slapped 4 and 5. Villa are very weird. And they only won, I think, like 1 or 2 in the last 8 or 9 games themselves. They got beat by Club Brugge in the Champions League.
I think they've put all their eggs
Drew
into the
with Villa.
Champions League basket, though, haven't they?
They got slapped
By
by.
the
I
looks of
mean, they got beat by Forest in the last minute, and they would. You know, Forest were very good. They got slapped by Chelsea. Slapped by, was it Tottenham 4-1?
Yeah. They
Slapped
haven't
them up.
beaten the Big 6 team this season.
I do. You know what? It would. I'm not saying we will win tomorrow, but Pep's talked about he thinks the training. Do you know what it is to me? This has to end at some point, and maybe that's copium and hopium, as I said
But I think
earlier.
Villa have conceded the most goals along with us in the last 5 games.
But,
I think we've conceded
But
11.
I'm
They've conceded
expecting
5.
a little bit of pride to
8,
kick
sorry.
in at some point.
Yeah.
When do these players look in the mirror and go, "We can't keep doing this"?
I think if this
When?
was right, the 2 things. If this was at home, I'd be a bit different. And I think if Diaz was there, like I'll be honest with you. Look, the Tottenham
Diaz thing is fucked up.
yeah, the Tottenham 4-0, the Sporting Lisbon 4-1. Those two results do not happen with Ruben Diaz in the team. His pride does not allow that to happen. Even if we go and look at the last couple of games, right, when Diaz has been on the pitch, go and count the amount of times he throws his body in front of to make blocks, right? And without him, like when we're talking about pride, Martin, I said earlier on, the fact that in that interview where Rodri gets asked one word for every player, and when it gets to Ruben Diaz, he says leader, not Kyle Walker. He says it on Ruben Diaz. That's what worries me. And I just think going into playing City this season, certainly the last 10, 11, 12 games, the first thing a manager will say is these guys are nervous. Like it's just now that is what.
Teams smell blood and they're just going for it.
They do.
Like
Someone said to me earlier on, I was speaking about this game, and my friend Mike goes to me, he goes, Daps, do they not know who we are? We're the multiple champions of England. And I'm like, yeah, usually, neither do I. I hate it. Because in the past, I do think that's what a lot of, I think that's what most Premier League teams came to England, came to City or played City knowing that. But at the moment, if you say Manchester City to a rival team, no longer is the first thing they go to the multiple champions of England. They're going the nervous team that won one game in 11. So
teams, when they came to the Etihad, used to fear us. It was, and I've said this a few times on my channel, it was always a case of how many goals are we going to concede?
Yeah.
Can we keep it to 3? Can we keep it at 2? We'll be happy with that. That was the mindset of a lot of away fans. But now, this season especially, certain teams have turned up and thought, if we keep this quiet for the first 20, 30 minutes, if we nick a goal, their heads drop. And then they will try, they will push, we can get a second. Yeah. And now...
Even more so now. Now even more so.
But now the mentality...
It was more get a couple of goals against City. Because start the season, there were games where we were going 2-0 down, but we were coming back. Whereas now...
And this is what I was going to get onto, where...
opposite way now.
The last few seasons when we've conceded first... Teams in their mind are still like, we have to get another because City could get 2 or 3 in a couple of minutes here. Whereas now, a team will get a goal and they will sit there and they just go, City will try, but they won't get anything. And I think that's where the mindset is coming in because they can feel it. Opposition teams can feel the fact that we're frustrated and we're struggling. Yeah, and then they're going, like the United game, we got the goal. And like me and you said, when you said there, I was kind of in a mindset of when's this going to fuck up? Because I just felt that throughout that whole game. Yeah. Because we were both shit. United was shit. We were awful. But on the other hand to that, I think a few United fans would have been like, if we just get this one goal here, their heads drop. And it was the massive moment. Nunez, bless him, made a mistake. And you could feel that change in the ground.
Oh, 100%.
The same with the fire. The same with the Feyenoord game. The Feyenoord game was a massive example of that. We were 3-0 up, coasting, no issues. Vardiol makes that mistake, and I was watching it on the TV, but you just seen it. You could just sense. I think you were there, Martin, and I think you agreed on it. You could just sense when that first goal went in. It was like, hang on, they're going to come back here.
You can feel it through the TV. You can actually feel it through the TV now. It's that bad. And
it's just, I just think teams are fearless against us now. Whereas before, if they tried to come out and play against us and go for it, it would have been 5 or 6-0. Whereas now, we can't guarantee that 5 or 6-0. So if they get a goal, they're straight. I see you disagreeing, Martin, but I can't see it anymore.
No, I don't mean it. Do you know what it is to me? And maybe it's me. Danny, I want to ask you on this and others.
Yeah, go on.
Are we saying, because you look at the 4 games we've got coming up, Villa, tough. And they're all tough. Don't think there's an easy game in the Premier League. There really isn't.
But the only confidence it's given me is
I don't mean this in any disrespect.
Like 74 shots.
If you're telling me that
3 games or 4
you don't have confidence against Everton at home, Leicester away, or West Ham at home, then we have to start talking about bigger
Well, Martin,
issues
are you being
right now.
right? So, with you asking that question, are you being a very good host, right? By asking the right questions, or if I've switched that back on you and said, Martin, are you confident about Leicester away, Villa away, Everton at home?
If I'm not confident about any of them, then I've got to say we're in a
Right.
relegation
So
battle.
no. So
I've
Martin,
got to say we're in a relegation battle.
Mark,
Then
so I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you the question. Are you confident with those 3 games?
I'm confident we'll get a winning one.
Oh, that's
Right,
a
so you're-
politician's answer. Jesus
No,
Christ.
because
Wow.
Answer the
what we're saying
question,
is
mine.
then- what we're saying is
That's the
then,
host answer.
this is Chelsea under Mourinho from about 6-7 years ago,
And do you know what? That's where I am
Pretty
right now. Because
pretty
where
much.
we seriously could nosedive into a situation.
yeah, that's
where
where I am
we
right
get
now.
top
I'm being
4,
honest.
we're in a relegation situation.
To be fair, ignore the fact that we're in 6th. Our form in the last 11 games is relegation form. There's actually no hiding from that. We're very fortunate that we got the results early on that we did
Yeah.
to allow us to have the luxury of being in the top 6.
Yeah,
But
spot
right
on.
now, this is relegation form right now.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I sat there last week when Arsenal drew, and I was on the way up to Manchester. I looked at my phone and saw, hold on, if we beat United tomorrow, we're level on points with Arsenal. I sat there scratching my head for about an hour and a half thinking, how the hell? And not only just, it doesn't help the fact that the whole of the country are telling us how bad we are right now. But I was sat there thinking, and the truth is that our form at the moment is absolutely shocking. Now, I will put the caveat in there that I don't think we've been as bad in a lot of those games as maybe our form looks. I think we've had bad halves. We've had some really good halves. But, Sporting Lisbon, first half, we were great, right? We've had some good halves. Tottenham, first half, we weren't that bad. But if you're just looking at results on paper, our form is
It's
relegation form. It's
So
relegation
actually,
We went-
form.
It's actually quite fun.
Yeah, we're not winning until January. I'm sorry. Then fine. Then we have to say, and this right here's my thing with January. Then, are you telling me 2 signings? Because we
No,
may not
I'm
get
not.
4. 2 signings ain't going to come in and suddenly
That's what
start
I was
making.
saying. And
all
this
these
is,
things.
this
No.
is what I was saying to you this morning about Champions League football. And when you and LB were saying, oh, no, because, we can just concentrate on Champions League. For the first time, we can just concentrate on the Champions League. And I kept saying, no, because if we do that, we're not going to finish in the top
But
5.
this is what I'm saying.
That's
These
where I am.
players are not shit players. They
They're
can't
not.
just
They're
1-8
not.
become
They're
shit.
100% not. But we had this wrecking ball, right, that had
I can't
built up.
believe I'm having this conversation
we-
in 2024 about City.
We had this wrecking ball, right? We had this wrecking ball that was built up from season and season and season of dominance, right? If the truth is, if you go and look at our players, when we bought a lot of them, not all of these players that we bought were people going, fucking hell, that player is a world-class player, right? Over time, they have got that name because of what they've done. Because as a group of players, they've just become a wrecking ball of confidence, mentality, and of course, a lot of ability. But I think we've been damaged badly. And it's to a point where I also think with some of these players, because of their age, because of how much they've won with us, they don't have it in them to get back to where they were. That's what I'm worried about. I could be proven wrong tomorrow.
But
I
that's
think I
that's
agree
the
with a
thing.
few of them. There's a few who are done.
If you really think about it, we went from league winning form to relegation form in literally 2 games. The truth is, we're not title winning side and we're not at relegation side. There's something in the middle. We should be fighting for top 4. I do think if we get the 5th spot for the Champions League, I think we're pretty much nailed on to be in the Champions League. But the thing that people say, oh, we're just terrible and we're just going to lose every game until February, until January. I just don't think we're going to do that. I feel like there are a couple of games we're probably going to win, like Everton. Yeah, they're a tough team to beat, but I do think we might have enough on us to do it. I also think we could very well win against Villa. The thing is, we just got to avoid injuries, and that's the whole thing about the season right now, is just avoid injuries. That's what we have to do. It's just too many to deal with. We lost, 10 players, which probably, 5 or 6 of them are main starter for pretty much the whole season so far.
Yeah, that's mad.
So
that's
crazy.
That's mad. It is. And by the way, look, I do honestly believe, right, that I don't expect us to come out and look like the old City in the next week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, right?
I don't care about performance.
And that's what I'm going to say. Neither do I, and neither should Pep, right? No one should, because all we need is a win. And I agree with you. It will happen. Look, one of these games we're going to win, but the players have to show.
Yeah, this is what it is for me. I can't sit here and say we're going to lose a game. If I'm sat here genuinely, and Danny the support, if we're saying we're going to lose to Leicester, we're going to lose to West Ham, and we're going to lose to Everton,
we beat West Ham. We beat West Ham. 100%. We beat West
Ham.
Then
what we have
West
to
Ham
say
could be
is
the turning point.
There's a bigger issue here going on.
Well, I think even if we lose to Villa, right, and then you've still got 3 games where you could get wins. So Everton, Leicester,
we won the
West
league
Ham.
last year, Iptrus. This is a title-winning squad.
Yeah, we haven't gotten rid of that many players since last season.
How have they all become shit?
We also haven't signed many players.
They got, 89, 90 points and won the damn league.
I feel like they're just overplayed.
How many games in a row did we win on the back of last year?
I do feel like they've been pushed to the limits. That's simple.
No, but that's different than saying the shit.
Yeah.
No, they're not shit.
No, absolutely not. I just think now a lot of the players, particularly the ones that have been picked out the most, like Walker and Bernardo, and all the ones that have been the most, they've honestly maxed out. And the problem for us right now is, can we just suddenly drop Walker and start playing Rico Lewis game in, game out going forward until Walker's fully fit? Can we actually just drop Bernardo and be like, okay, we're going to trust Savio for 4 or 5 games? There's too much of a drop in level and just too much of a drop off when we actually rely on something. And this comes down to recruitment. Ultimately, it does come down to recruitment. The drop off is bad.
I truly think we should have reinvested. I think we should have rebuilt this squad after the treble season.
No,
absolutely.
Of course, but
the
team we put out against Crystal Palace should be winning, for example.
I was just thinking when we came onto the call,
but not even like a full rebuild. It's just you buy maybe 2 or 3 tops.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, look, no one started and said Foden was going to have issues. No one said KDB was going to have issues. No one thought Grealish was going to have issues.
That's naivety or bollocks if you turn around and think that these players were going to have the issues that they're having.
Exactly. No one sat there and said
But a lot of them are. The thing is, a lot of them are the effect. This is what I was saying earlier. It's a dominoes effect.
Exactly. It affects everything.
If there weren't certain injuries and the pressure wasn't on, then there wouldn't be, for example, Savio would not be desperate for a goal because everything would be hunky-dory.
He wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't be anywhere near.
Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't be playing.
All of these things. And now, like, obviously, Foden had the impact of, he had a great season, right? When you have
like Rodri and Foden last season won us the league.
But Foden's been put on a pedestal, right? So the pressure on him now for winning that he knew coming into this season, there's going to be more pressure on you, mate, right? Then there's what happened during the Euros. I have no doubt that, the way certain people, and ultimately his performances, do you know what? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. His performances probably made him feel a bit like, am I good enough a little bit? Then the media on him. And then there's the fact that, right, now you have to come back to the league and straight away you have to come and kick straight in because the team needs you. It's a lot of pressure and all of this has just come. I had someone in my DMs yesterday listing all the things that apparently he said during the summer. I said we should do this. And I thought hindsight is such a beautiful thing. It really is, like that. And furthermore, all the things that he said probably would have cost us about 500 million. So it's like, come on, I get it. Like, but
it's all well and good saying let's throw money at everything, right? Like, people are accusing us of. But I've said it to Martin, I've said it on my channel. There is no guarantee that these transfers even work.
No, absolutely.
Let's be honest.
And also,
that's my point. I think we're pinning too much on this. Because listen, and we've all experienced this. Generally, 9 out of 10 times, players under Pep Guardiola don't generally hit the ground running the minute they walk in the door.
Yeah.
They generally don't.
That's why these have to really get these right.
Make us go like that.
And this is where I think at the moment people really need to look. For me, and someone said this to me before, that the way that our club probably works is actually they will have 3 different pots of money and 3 different types of targets. They will have their long-term young players, right, that they want to target, and they'll probably still move forward with those, right? Then they will also have their targets to come in here and now, right? And that we can't be, and this is where I worry when we're talking about the likes of Frimpong, right? I personally don't think that Frimpong is someone that right now is anything we need. Yeah, and there's a lot of even Wirtz and Musiala. Look, Wirtz and Musiala are special because of how good they are. Maybe they will come and impact straight away. But we have to remember these are still young players that have never played in the Premier League before. So
Haaland is one of very few anomalies who came in and hit the ground running.
And he still had a pre-season, right? This is January. This is if we sign them on a Tuesday, they might be playing on the Saturday. This is not like they're not going to.
The only one I can think of who's done that is Laporte again.
By the way, they're not getting arrested in the summer either.
Edin Dzeko as well. We got Dzeko in January as
well.
Yeah,
they're not getting arrested in the summer because we're all off.
I meant more on the Pep kind of.
Exactly. So I think that we need to be probably having. This is where I say 3 sets. So Tiki needs to be looking at 3 different types of players. 1, long-term young players, right? And maybe you're just putting them off till the summer. 2, your big names, your Wirtz, your Musialas. You're not going to get them. Firstly, you're not going to get them in January. Secondly, I don't think you should be prioritising.
I don't think you get them full stop, if I'm honest, them two.
Let's see. But we need to be targeting players that come in and impact us here and now. And we need to get these right, because if we don't get those right, then we might not have Champions League football come the summer. And then all of a sudden that impacts the chance of us getting Wirtz or Musiala. If we don't have Champions League football next season, we might as well write off getting Musiala or Wirtz because we won't be able to get them.
Can I just, Danny, I need to just let me assess Danny's question. Sorry,
go on.
I agree with this. This is where I'm at, and I think this is where Pep's at now. If you listen to some of his quotes today, his presser. It's never time to go one game at a time. Looking at with trepidation is a negative. I agree with that because this is the problem. If we sit there, if the players do what we're all doing right now, then they're going to lose every single game forever because they're never going to come out of it. But if we sit there and we go, well, that's a loss, and we have to go, for me, one game at a time. Get the win, right? See where we go, especially with injuries, especially with where we're going to be. Because like Diaz come back too early because he's trying to help the team. Yeah. Walker, as much as he's been a car crash this season, as Steve said, has been playing with an injury. Shouldn't even be on the damn pitch. What he's doing is a favour. I know some will go, well, he's not. Well, he is. Kovacic played with a broken toe, with a painkilling injection with a broken toe for 4 weeks. Akanji, he's been playing injured. The quote I got after Bournemouth was he was 60% fit.
Do you know
to me, Danny, would you do this one game at a time,
or
are you thinking longer term? Which way you... And there isn't a right or wrong. I'm just saying, I think it's people's individual opinions, I guess.
No, I'd go one game at a time, because if you win one game, that's how you change the mood in the squad, change the momentum. You beat Villa, then you go on to Everton, you say we won the last game, this is a winnable game, then it becomes 2 in a row. Then you go on to Leicester, another winnable game, then it becomes 3, and then you go on so on and so forth.
Yeah. I think you're spot on, ultimately, and I think Pep's been doing that. If we take the Juventus game as an example, I think, look, we saw Bernardo Silva start, we saw De Bruyne start, we saw Gundogan start. And I think, did we see Walker start as well in that game? I think we did, right? So we're saying we saw our 3 34-year-olds and our 31-year-old Bernardo Silva start against Juventus. Now, I would imagine that Pep was hoping we could maybe go 1-0 up, or maybe even be 0-0 or 1-0 or whatever, and bring some of those players off in the 70th minute so they got a bit of rest before the derby. Unfortunately, because we went 2-0 down to Juventus, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Walker and Gundogan, our 4 oldest players, played the full 90 minutes, I believe, right? So straight away, we knew going into the weekend game against Man United that 4 of our players, that yes, they are still 4 of our best players, right? Well, Walker maybe not so, but we have no choice with him. They played 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. And that's where we are at the moment. I do think Pep is trying to do it game at a time, because otherwise he would have been saying, I'm going to rest De Bruyne against Juventus because we need him against Man United. We do not have the ability to rest players this season. Like, there's not one game we're getting to rest players in, and that.
Do you know Rodri's trying to get back? I mean, you're not doing like
I
news on Rodri.
No.
I know he shouldn't. I agree. Rodri's mindset is trying to get back like March time,
and that is awful, bro. That is right. If you look at right, the injury he's had, yeah, especially at his age, if the medical team do not allow the muscle to fully grow around that. And do you know what? Do you know the one team that I hate saying this, but did it really well was Liverpool with Van Dijk, right? Because that season, Van Dijk was in training around late January that season, but Liverpool were not winning the league. So they said, no point. What's the point, right? What is the point? Because if we rush him back, we've got Vincent Kompany all over again, right? They left him. He didn't play at all. And then come July, as soon as they're in pre-season, Van Dijk was there from day one, right? We have to do that with Rodri. And I know Rodri will want to come back and save this team, and we all salute him for it. But if we rush him back at his age, we've got Vinny. How much did it hurt all of us seeing Vinny every time he came back and got injured, right?
Yeah.
It killed me. It killed me seeing the look on his face every time. We can't do that to Rodri. We can't.
Yeah, Aguero in this last season as well.
Yeah.
And that was sad, by the way. It was sad to see Aguero go out like that.
I knew he was finished in like October. That's what made it so sad.
Do you know what? Right, you say it was sad, but I was thinking this the other day. If you look at all of our legends, and I'm going to list some, maybe some are legends to me, not legends to others. But if you look at Zabaleta, if you look at David Silva, if you look at Yaya Toure, if you look at Vincent Kompany, if you look at Aguero, if you look at the list will go on and on and on of players that we have let go at the age of maybe 32, 33. Fernandinho was so special to go on how long he did, but we let them go. And a lot of people said, oh, you should keep them for a bit longer. But very few of them ever went on to even come close to playing at a level that they did at City. And guess what? We remember all of them as legends, right? And where we are right now is we're here seeing a fan base fucking throw pelters at Walker, right? Walker, who we must remember, right? If you
it's not even pelters, it's just fucking absurd.
Hold on. If you look at this era under Pep Guardiola, right, there are 3 players that joined us the same summer, right? And that before they joined us, we didn't win anything. Edison, Walker, and Bernardo Silva. They all joined us in the same season. That season, we then did the Centurions, right? Now, we are at risk of these legends starting to be criticised and no longer being seen as legends because we've held on to them for that little bit too long. And that's where we've come unstuck as a fan base, as a club.
Oh, it's naivety, 100%.
And this, yeah, sorry.
Now carry on, sorry.
I was going to say, this is where, when this whole conversation of Kevin De Bruyne staying on for another season comes, I'm like, no. Because whilst he's there, we'll always continue to call upon him and be like, right, come on, KDB, you're our saviour. Come on, jump on for us, save us again. We do eventually need to allow some of these players to move on just so others can step up. I mean,
to be fair, he's created the most chances since he's come back. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but it's like...
You know what happened? He came back, like last season, it was clear for us all to see. He came back against Newcastle, came on as a sub, looked mint, right? Kevin De Bruyne, with that passing range, will always create chances. But if we're real about last season, the more games he played, the more his form started dipping. You look at the Arsenal game, you look at the Liverpool game back in the last season, he got dragged in both of them. Cup final got dragged in, right? Because he's 34 years old. Lampard and Gerrard fucked off to the MLS, right? And now people are here slandering 34-year-olds, right? When actually they're legends that are just 34 years old, right? And you're spot on that with De Bruyne, he came back against Forest, looked unbelievable against Forest. Everyone's going, City are back. No, because the next game, we wanted De Bruyne to do the same thing. He's 34 years old. He can't do it 2 games in a week, every single week. And until we fucking realise that, you're spot on. De Bruyne needs to go in the summer so that at least we can salute him and let him sail off into the wind and get the money like everyone else did.
Yeah, I think if he stays for another season, then it's like, come on, like...
It's like Walker,
if it dips again, it's like we can't.
But if
we
Walker
can't
went after we won the
defend it.
treble, everyone would be labeling him an absolute legend, right? Yeah. I remember the speech he did when he didn't even play in the Champions League final. What a man to step up and say, "Go and win it." But for Aguero and them lot, Now look at all the pelters he's getting off of everyone because he stayed too long. And that's what we've always done so well is move players on at the right time. And I'm not just saying us as a fan base, we got drawn in. We celebrated coming back.
It took 30 million, from Bayern Munich that one time, in hindsight.
And he was ready to go. That's the thing. He was ready to go. We're the ones that tried to force him to stay. And ultimately, he's been held responsible for something that really it's not his own doing. He's been fault. It's not his fault. And if there is one blessing in disguise in all this rot or whatever we're going through, is a lot of passengers have been exposed. A lot of players who have been around, and let's be honest, are far from delivered. But they'll be there to celebrate when everything's going well. And they're some of the players that would rely on KDB and players like that to always save them. And we do need to ship some players on because it's just come to a point now where we're not getting what we paid for.
I say we go and get Brendan the Kitman back. I'm not going to lie. Brendan the Kitman, we need to get him back ASAP.
By the way, good evening, Hong. Hope you're all right, mate. Just sorry, that's on Pep Walker wanting to leave. I think the Walker thing was, as you know, it wasn't because of football he was wanting to leave. I understand why Pep did what he did. Pep was trying to do it from a man management, human being point of view. Yeah. Walker was not leaving because he's like, my time at City's up. Walker was leaving because he had a bloody scandal about to come out into the media. And he wanted out the door. And he's admitted he was running away. So Pep's probably thought, okay. The stories about, listen, Kyle Walker, 100% career is probably done at City. We all admit that. We all know that. What we're saying is, I think my argument is, and that's it's the way it's like Kyle Walker's the only guy. He's getting blamed for it all. Every single part of it is Kyle Walker.
I'll be honest.
I don't even think he was bad Sunday.
The players.
How can we blame?
Players choose the captain.
How can we? How can choosing him? Right. Well, firstly, I was going to say that it can't just be Pep because the players choose the captain and they're chosen this season. But secondly, right, again, rivals. I understand why rivals are going to, they're going to call Kevin De Bruyne names, Walker names, all of that. But our own fan base,
we need to defend them.
It's mental the way we're throwing pelters at Walker, right?
To be racially abused.
He's 34 years old. Gundogan, he's 34 years old, right? Edison's got it forever. There's a certain element that just don't like Edison. But I'm sorry, listen, I love him to bits. He is one of our own. But Phil Foden won Player of the Season last season.
And now he's become shit.
Right. He's off because he's got bronchitis. Walker's playing through fucking injuries at 34 years old and he's getting pelters, yeah? Now, I'm not saying everyone should slander Foden, but I just don't think it's fair that certain players like that are getting away with putting in performances like they are. And at first, I understand.
Does he have a song or credit in the bank, as I get told? Has Walker not got 8 years credit in the bank?
Walker's one of the best right backs the Premier League's ever seen.
See,
I'm
he's
the
best.
I'm going to say this. People are not going to like it. And people will get upset with me. And I don't mean it in a personal way. I said this to Daps weeks ago. I said, the problem is, as a fan base and as a football club, we all got too cocky and we got too spoiled and we all got too used to the taste of champagne. And I said this day would come.
Yeah.
Because I said we're not going to win title after title after title.
And now we're drinking Prosecco.
And that's why I say, look, I will, of course, the board, the football director, it's their job, right, to be ahead of the curve.
Yes. But Cal Dunn's involved in this as well, Daps, by the way.
Oh, everyone is. Everyone, like people.
I know it never hear anyone mention Cal Dunn.
But we are as well. And
yes,
the mad thing is, I'll even say myself, because whenever I get asked about Vincent Kompany as manager, I say no. I've seen other fan bases turn on their legends, right? I don't want to turn on, for me, my favourite City player of all time is Vincent Kompany. I never want to be saying, do you know what, it's time for him to go. Never. So for that reason, I don't want him as manager. But I got carried away. When we signed Gundogan, all of a sudden I went from we needed DM so fucking badly to we're winning the league just because we signed a 34-year-old Gundogan because I got drawn into it. And the one thing I will say to the people that call us main road losers, in that case, Martin, we all got sucked in. We did.
I feel like we proved ourselves that we're not going to respect the legends properly if we, as a collective, as a fan base, we're not going to respect the legends properly if they start dropping stinkers. We did it with Walker. Look what's happening to him. We have people putting him on suicide vests.
And it's not just legends. Mateus Nunes was told to die after his
That's
I'm like, what are we doing?
No, I don't get it, because we cry about Stones and Ake never being available, and now you have Walker busting his balls to get on the pitch, and now he's getting sick.
Now this
Walker can't do right, bro. Walker can't, and I'll be honest with you. People that are calling out,
I think people have got an agenda because of his off-field stuff.
No, but
absolutely,
right, sorry. I hear you, right? And listen, let me put out this, make it very.
Well,
very
people
clear.
need to separate the two, but they can't.
No, but hold on, Luke. I'm not here saying cheating is right or getting your knob out in public is right. I'm not here saying that. Yeah. However,
on occasion.
However, I will also be very real with you. Yeah, that I reckon certainly anyone. I can't talk about every country because I haven't been to every country, but I will say in England, I reckon 99% of us, one of our mates has cheated on their missus, right? And we are not slagging them off for it, right? Let's be real.
I can't even get a missus, so I'm not in that conversation.
It's not that deep. And people, I do think there's an element of this.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, if he was performing well,
people are so scared to go against and say, "Oh, it's not that deep," because it isn't that deep.
What I'm trying to say is,
it's not about football. It's nothing to do with football.
No, but what I'm saying is, if he was playing well, let's say he was having a blinding season, everyone would be taking the piss out of this off-field stuff. They would be having a joke about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Carl Walker's classy cheats on his missus.
You mean like they did with Phil Foden?
Yes.
He'd have a chant about it.
Yeah, but because of the second that he's playing back, it's not actually match-going fans who are doing all of this rhetoric. It's people hiding behind a fucking screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
No, it's the ones who have got a fucking steak ad for 100k views for a $5 a fucking pop, the little whoppers, who are fucking putting suicide vests on him. And it's a case
that's
of
mental.
It's a case of like, because he's performing bad and add insult to injury with what is going on privately. People are like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking disgusting human. He's a shit footballer. All this. Let's just turn on him and get evil about him." If he was playing well, 100% for a fact, people would be joking about it on football Twitter, and not fucking turning it, bad. But because he's playing bad, they're adding insult to injury, fucking getting to the point where I've been told reportedly that there is mental health issues with him. But
absolutely,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised because people are fucking horrible, man. Like, it's the same with Phil Foden. People are saying, "Oh, he's shite now because he was player of the season last year." But at the end of the day, if you look back this season, he's been in and out of the squad. It's absolutely fine. He's got personal things going on as well. But then people are using this again as an attack for him because they're combining the two, which can never be done. At the end of the day, Daps, you know me very well. Some of the personal shit I've got up to, fucking hell.
Amen, bro. Same with me.
People would slaughter me, Jesus Christ. Sitting in a fucking hotel room at 7 o'clock in the morning off me fucking bracket.
But that's the same with everyone throwing this. And this is a shit thing that there will be people.
It's an easy cop out for people to get abusive. That's all it is.
Yeah, and there'll be people that are saying Kyle Walker is such a bad person for the things he did, but actually not realizing. Do you realize how bad you are being with the slander that you're putting on this person? Like that. All of this is just like, and I get it. We're all angry. We're all frustrated, right? But we don't always have to take it out on people, right? We don't. We really don't. And I think real football fans, you're not inboxing someone, like abusing them. Like, what the hell is that? What is that?
As embarrassing as it...
I think that some people are just not able to not see footballers as role models. Like they just want the footballer to be a perfect person, and they're never gonna be it. They're always gonna do stupid stuff off the pitch. That's life. Everybody does that.
Shouldn't be role models. I've said
yes, they're not.
They're not.
People, and I see full-grown adults, 24, 25, even 35-year-old people pretending that they are, and I'm just like, you're not a child anymore. Just watch football for the football.
Yeah,
don't care about the personal life.
Do you know what? Actually, can I just take it? Maybe they are role models. Maybe they are role models, right? They're role models in the fact that, guess what? Just because they're a footballer, they're not perfect, because nobody is perfect. They're a human being, just like every single one of us. And do you know who got it spot on and is a perfect example?
There should be role models on the pitch, but not off it.
Mario Balotelli, right? No, because we
Can't
celebrate.
believe you're using him as an example,
because,
mate.
No, because he's a really good example. Firstly, that we celebrate all the fucked up shit he did, right?
Yeah. We've got a fireworks song.
No, but also that Balotelli was spot on when he said, like, firstly,
I think
when
he said, "Don't look at me as a role model."
He said, all I've known is money since I've been 18 years old. How do you expect me to act, right? And that is the truth. These players, like, we can't look at them we can look at them as role models.
They're not normal people.
Role models as normal. They are normal people, bro. They're normal people.
No, I get in that sense, but what I mean is, people look at them as if, like, oh, you know, yes, they have normal issues, they have personal issues. Everyone does. That's life. But what I mean is, when you're on that amount of money and they're doing the things that they're doing, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
But, you know,
can I just say this for a break? I'm just sorry, Luke, to start, because I just want to. I get what people are saying with the walk stuff, but see, because I'm an old codger, I apologise for my age. David Beckham was captain of England while he was having his way with Rebecca Lewis or whatever the damn bloody name was. John Terry's captain of England while he's doing what he's doing. Listen, Phil Foden's picking up a fire extinguisher and going twatting someone round the head at the AO Arena.
Whoa, that was his mum.
No. I'm not saying he didn't have a reason to do it. All right, then. He went to Iceland during a pandemic and went and had a good old time while he was out there because your boy kept warm, reportedly. I always say reportedly. Listen, we can go through. Not everyone is.
Just don't mention the other person with him.
I get what you're saying. Character matters in all aspects of life. But honestly, it's insight. If you knew the amount of shit some of these footballers are getting up to, you would not like any footballers. They're not. They have multi-millionaire young lads on stupid amounts of money, and they all make silly choices.
Mate,
Whether it's you've got getting pissed. My brother, and I swore I would never do this story. My brother went to the press club in Manchester with 2 City players and a couple of United players. I will not tell you the sort of shit that they did.
Yeah.
One of them caused one of them to move to Leeds United. So that tells you where we're going back to. Yeah, think of it, that's United to Leeds. Who was the guy in the 90s?
Yeah, you got
because he had a gambling debt.
No,
I'll tell you.
Gillespie, was it?
Lee Sharp.
Yeah.
If you guys heard what R9, the Brazilian Ronaldo, did when he was, it's crazy.
He was having a party with brasses. Ronaldinho was turning up training piss.
Ronaldo, mad. Allegedly, again for the channel, allegedly. Ronaldo.
But you know what? You know what? The
CR7's not allowed in America, so just know that one.
Yeah. But it's very similar. It's very similar to I think the point you made there that's spot on is just because we hear things about certain players doesn't mean that there's a million players that are getting up to it. And it's the same ultimately if we look at 115, same thing, right? Do we think that City have probably done a few dodgy things? 100%. But every other football club has, and our whole thing is, so do you know what? Be fair. And that's the same with this. That just because we hear
and
about
I would also say another thing. Even if City did dodgy things, it's not like we are massively outspending everybody. We're spending about as much as other people, so we're just trying to get into the city.
Fucking spend more.
Can I ask Hong a question? By the way, I know you've been. By the way, thank you for your patience. I know you've come into the madhouse. You and Danny have been so patient at the minute.
Where's Alan as well, by the way?
Did you stop this? Not happening.
We want Alan. We want Alan.
Right.
I think he likes LB more than you now. He seems to be on LB's channel more than he's on your channel.
It's already a madhouse without him in here.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'll tell my
I don't mind being second choice.
I'll mute myself.
One of the founders of the channel. Hong. I don't even know the question I was going to ask. What was the question I was going to ask?
What would you do on Deansgate? No, sorry.
Oh my God. There was a question that I had someone saying Free Allen. Will you stop with the Free Allen stuff? Right. There
Say
was
his
a
name
question.
5 times, he'll appear.
Because there was a question that came in the comment and I was going to say it. Right. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Sorry, Hongo, we'll come to it. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't. Right. If City get found guilty, that's it. City get found guilty of any aspect of this. Would you turn around and go, I'm done with the club because of what they've done? They've made some, they've cheated and the blah, blah, blah. I'm going to ask that to everyone because if people have got this self-righteous attitude, then I expect everyone to leave City then if we get found guilty.
A few have already, Martin.
By the way.
They're giving the transfer window. If we don't mind anybody there.
If you are a human being and you turn around and you go, you know what? I have beliefs in this, that, and the other. A, I think you're taking football too serious.
Yeah.
And B, that's your opinion and you're allowed it. And I'm honest because I think we'll win the case. But if we don't win the case, some are telling me because of Walker and other situations, then they're going to leave because they don't like that. They don't like cheating. Do you understand what I mean, Hong, by that?
Yeah, I do. But I think my support of the club will still remain strong, and But I think what gives me confidence about this is probably you have to think about our chairman and our owner. You have to think about the people that they connect with. And Khaldun Al Mubarak, he's not your ordinary chairman. Sheikh Mansour is not your ordinary owner. I think all of the City fans have to have a sit down with themselves and think about the type of person Khaldun is, and think about the type of chairman he is and the president he is, and think about the shoulders he rubs with. And do you honestly think he would put his name, his face, his whole reputation on the line over a football club that's been charged with something like this? Just have a good think about that.
I mean, like, Tinside, get that short opinion.
Yeah.
He is taking accountability by playing injured, mate. That's your opinion, Tinside, that's fine. But he's playing injured.
Yeah. Could I just say on the whole role model thing, if you want a role model of sports personality, if you like,
it should be OJ Simpson. What?
What?
What would say? Let's just say as a footballer. Let's say you're an aspiring footballer.
Sorry.
Let's say you're an aspiring footballer. You're like, I don't know, in your teenagers or whatever. As long as you keep it strictly to what they do on the field and how they perform as a sports person, fair enough. That's where you got to strike the balance. You can't live your life being somebody else on and off the pitch, like living your life by the way they do in every habit. Otherwise, then you will become a corrupt personality.
Exactly like OJ Simpson. What a player he was.
Fair enough. Great example. But just keep it strictly. Keep it strictly to what they are as a sports person.
See, I don't believe this Diario. This Diario talks garbage sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen that earlier.
Spanish media. Do not listen to Spanish media at all.
In terms of priorities for the window, what we're saying, guys, then, like what should be the 3 priority positions for the window? Then, if it's only 3
Centre-mid.
Midfielder, right back, striker, done.
Who keeps saying Teo Hernandez? Don't get me excited.
I love him.
Don't. Martin knows how obsessed I am with this man.
Mate, I'm also obsessed with him. He's just that good.
I think I spent a good 20 minutes explaining.
Just to close off the thing, do you know who I think are role models? This is me. Teachers, policemen, fire brigade, all them people. They're the ones. I don't class movie stars, my parents, my grandparents.
Lollipop ladies.
I don't class a footballer or a movie star or an F1 driver or any of these people who have been blessed with a brilliant skill set.
Fucking lollipop ladies. That's
Martin, if you take a look.
But the point I'm making is because my son is 14. And he turns on and he says to me, his role model is his granddad or his teacher. Because he grew up and his teacher taught him a lot. And even he said, and that's just because of the way I've parented, and that's maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I don't know. That's just me and the way I bring up my children. But if someone's going, I'm going Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher.
If your role model's one of the Gallagher brothers, then you're
but some will say that. You know,
I mean,
Hamilton
a lot
is
of our
the
fan
role-
base,
no.
a lot of our fan base is royally fucked. Then, to be fair, Luke.
Yeah.
If
we
you
are.
look at Lewis Hamilton as a goal in your life, and I want to be like him, then brilliant. You want to be like him as the driver. Do you know why? Because none of us know any of these people personally.
I've always said my role model is my dad.
Jeremy,
we can all have different.
all these people, you're not going for an afternoon tea with them. They're not inviting you round to meet Nan and Grandad.
But no one can. Do you know what? Everyone's entitled to have different role models because everyone comes from. Everyone comes from different walks of life.
Of course you do.
Like I honestly believe, especially as football fans, that as football fans, we have different reasons for supporting the club we support, and football.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm a strong believer. Like, I don't want anyone to think here that I'm saying game-going fans are any better. But game-going fans have a different reason and experience. Game-going fans, winning is, I would say, for a game-going fan, a little bit less. It's less important.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, it was going football with my dad when I was young. It's your release. If you're working a week, it's your release. If you're not going to the games, and you're not feeling that game-going experience, then of course watching the football and the beauty of football is probably more important to you than if you go to the game. Because if you go to the game, let's be honest, we missed the first 5 minutes of the second half, most of us, because we're busy yapping to other people.
Speak for yourself. You get the pints in.
Now mine's more like 15 minutes, but
yeah, I was going to say I'm sat there through the 15 minutes most of the time.
Positive stuff. Fucking hell. Anyone got any?
What's everyone had for tea tonight?
No,
I had a cheeseburger with Albanian sauce. Now, does anyone know what Albanian?
What you talking?
Is that just cocaine?
No.
Hey, Luke, you're on.
No,
tonight.
in a burger.
I'm in a good mood tonight. I don't know what's happening to me. I apologize, Martin. This is what happens when you get me on for a full stream.
No.
Do you know what? He's been waiting for this because I've been derailing his streams.
I don't know what to expect from the stream because I saw it was a Christmas special. I wasn't sure if you're doing quizzes and it's therapy.
No, just don't get together and have a chinwag.
No, I think Martin rigs the quizzes. If we did a quiz, Martin would rig it. There'll be questions from 1928 and when he was in his prime.
You know what? I did a quiz once, and one of the questions was Lee Bradbury, and there was me about 15 people got it. Everyone else like, who's that?
Do you know what fan base really need to do some quizzes on their own fan base, on their own club? Chelsea. Right? But thank you, Cass, who's a United fan, is in the background. He just said the same thing. Chelsea.
Cass doesn't know jack shit about United.
No, hold on. But
I'm so open he's heard me there.
I'm talking about Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans, honestly, recently, the way some Chelsea fans are speaking about us lot, I think you have no idea about your own club, do you?
Ask them who their owner was.
Oh, no, they don't.
Cass doesn't. He keeps telling me United are back.
Yeah, but that's the here and now. That's the here and now.
Were they back before Spurs? What a corner that was.
Did he mean it? Didn't mean it, did he? Didn't mean
right, I'm going to go round because we are going to end in the next 5 because I have to go. There is going to be a Twitter space tonight.
I haven't derailed it that much, have I?
While I'm doing my caring duties tonight, I am going to do a Twitter space to keep me awake and alive.
Oh, I might join that, maybe.
So, I might join as well.
Well, what we're going to do is, Hung, I'm going to start with you. The next 4 games, I'm not going to show win. I want a points thing. How many points are you expecting? Villa, Everton, Leicester, West Ham. What are you expecting? 12 points on offer.
Oh, goodness gracious me. I will say realistically, I probably would say realistically, I would say 6 points at the very least. I'll say 2 out of 4 wins at the very least. So I think the home wins against Everton, West Ham, and I'm not too sure about Villa tomorrow. I choose to be positive as I want to be positive tomorrow, because I've already had enough. I've already gave enough negativity to myself already in terms of the past recent results. So I choose to be positive tomorrow, even though I want to see win. But if it's a lose, I won't be surprised. But I think the home games against Everton, West Ham, must. And I think Leicester's going to be a bit tough, especially with Van Nistelrooy being in charge as well. So
I'll go to that as well.
Yeah. So that one.
What are
as
you
well.
doing, Leicester?
Oh.
Yeah,
Might be that.
and as well. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think maybe 2 wins out of 4 at the very, very least, so 6 points.
Sorry, is your name Hong?
Huang, to be exact.
Huang. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Martin, the way you pronounce it is
Right, listen, I get in trouble off Pat. Anyone's seen Pat, Australian Pat? He's his biggest gripe on me on this show.
See him once a month, mate.
That's because he's a jet setter now. He gets paid too much from the Mancunian way. Yeah, I'm the right.
well, that's down to you, pay him less.
No, he's a jet. Pat will be back. I promise you.
I was going to get you ruined my joke. If your name is Hong, I was going to say you well, Hong.
I'm doing well, Dad. So,
Did anyone get
well.
that? Did anyone get
I got that. I got that.
I'm just not even commenting on that. Perhaps.
Have you seen the City community? You've just lost about 10,000 subscribers.
Oh well, they don't like me anyway. Fine. Listen, with my accent supporting City, they all hate me anyway, so I don't care.
Oh yes, see.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
go. Danny, what you said? Because by the way, someone said 7, 10.
I was gonna say 7.
9.
Everyone's saying 7. So
Look,
I feel like
MLK's got 1 draw, 3 wins. By the way, someone said LB was their role model earlier.
They're flip flopping.
Listen, I hear that. There's a lot. I think of quite a few young City fans look up to LB. The amount of
LB
them
was
say,
pitched by 4:30. You want to see the WhatsApps from 4:30 onwards?
Oh, I've seen his Instagram. He looks.
He left that
flaking.
stream earlier and went straight to the pub, and he's still there now.
has anyone seen Simon since we started losing?
He was on
So
LB. He was on LB the other day.
Cool.
See, 9 points. 9 points. I like the
I'm just
positivity here.
I'm being realistic with 6 points.
Wait till they see me.
I'm ready for disappointment and joy as well. So
Do you know what? I'm going to go 10 points. I'm going to go 3 wins and a draw
who are we drawn to though?
tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, I'd say 7.
No, because honestly, going back to my earlier point, if we are getting beat by Leicester, Everton, and West Ham, then I have to seriously sit down and go, right, we're now in a relegation situation.
12.
And I'll be straight with you right now.
I'll be honest with you. I think 5.
I'll be saying 12.
I'm also gonna throw something else at you now.
Who said 12?
If we don't win
Yes.
it, then if we
No, we're
lose,
back.
all right, better if we lose the next 4, Pep's staying, and I don't think he'll be sacked.
Yes.
Yep.
Huh?
You stay.
Yeah.
We lose the next 4, do you think Pep walks?
No.
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 Yeah.
Job's not done.
I won't allow it.
Yeah,
It's probably
wait a
won't
minute.
allow
Did
it.
any of you see Guillaume Balaguer's podcast today when he was answering about Pep? Because he was saying something about 5 or 6 starters are going out the door, 5 or 6 starters are coming in. Did any of you guys see that?
In
No,
January?
I think it's throughout. I think it's
Throughout
about
the year.
mainly
Right.
throughout the year, throughout 2025.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, Guillaume Balaguer, and he's a very well respected journalist, and he knows Pep very, very well.
He's a prick in person, though.
Do you know what? I think.
I met him at a game
I
once.
think. Do
He's
you know
a prick.
what? I'm pretty certain I've seen it documented that the board always planned on there being quite a few exits, but usually we spread them out. Whereas I think it almost seems like they planned on doing a lot summer 2025, whereas actually they should have done some summer 2024, some January, and they're just going to end up having to. Yeah, I think they always knew this was going to happen. It's just happened earlier than they expected.
It's how dramatic.
I've heard that
it's how dramatic it is.
Yeah.
I've heard they tried to do it this season.
They did.
I said this to LB the other day, Sparkers. Sorry, I'm going to say so. I said this to LB the other day. I said, because LB was going 1 win in 11. as it is statistically. I said, but the trouble is, if we keep doing this, say we win tomorrow, people will go 2 wins in 12. Then you get another win, it becomes 3 wins in 13. Now, if you keep going like that, you are always going to make it sound so shit. Because you're just going to make it sound bad.
It depends.
You
The trade
can't
of bread
erase.
spotted.
So at some point, that 1-11 has to stop and a new run begins, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear that. But if we know what the media are like with City, that's going to be
That's what I
different.
mean. It is going to be betrayed because if say we win our next 4, it won't be oh, City have won their last 4. It'll become 5 wins in 20
15.
games.
It's
So,
only
I mean,
less
it
though.
becomes something daft, and it can make it sound so shit.
But
It's
but
only
you know what?
X team is gonna come out.
That's what happens. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, completely honest with ourselves. That's what's
Sean,
happened.
don't say that. Sean,
That's
don't
what's
say
happened with
that.
Man United.
Calm down, mate.
That's what's happened with Man
Don't
United.
time him
The
out.
media,
Sean, relax, mate.
the media, because of how big Man United are, the media look for any negative news on Man United and they push it out there. Yeah, let's be real. That is what they do, right? Now, that is now what happens with us because we're now a big club. Like, let's be honest. We've heard for 6, 7, 8 years, no one cares about City. The one thing I know very clearly from this last 8 weeks is no one cares about City winning. Everyone cares about City losing, right? Everyone cares because it's still like we know we do YouTube, right? Everyone here knows it. We're all. If City lose, that's the biggest news of the weekend.
That's the thing. We are the only ones that want City to win. Just City fans. So they're always gonna try to make a bad spin on everything on us because that sells. Because that brings more people in to read what they say.
Yeah,
if they make a positive thing about City, only City fans will actually read it. So there is no point in doing that for them.
Now we have the hard thing because we've always looked at like Man United's fan channels, Arsenal's fan channels when they're being negative, and we've gone, oh. But then now where we are, it's difficult because I don't want to come on here and be negative and people think, oh, he's doing this for clicks. Because honestly, I'm not. Right? This is hurt. It hurts. City being like this hurts. Okay. But at the same time, I also don't want to be that fan that just constantly goes, well, you know, we did the 4P. I don't want to be that person that keeps bringing up. We have to be realistic.
You could do the City tie, to be fair. You've got the headphones there. You've got the hat.
But I don't wear the merch. I don't wear the merch.
No, do you know what? And this is what makes me laugh. And I'm just going to come out to this before I come to Danny on his points. You said about me on a Monday. Do you know why I go on and people probably go at me on a Monday and I sit there? I had Deja, who's a nice guy, Spurs fan, come on. But you got beat. And I'm like, you are, with all due respect, you are Tottenham fan. This is not, I'm going to go at Deja, by the way. What I'm saying is, my point is, rivals are like having an absolute crazy great time at the moment. And they're like, oh my God. And I said, without, you know, I had Hooks. Hooks is amazing, great, nice guy. But he sat there going, but and this is where Hooks goes, I'll talk to you as a football fan, not as an act, because they're only 3 points ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I'm 1 winning 11. And this is my own point. If they were 20 points ahead of me and they'd won a title here and a cup there, I'll have a chat. I'm sat there on 4 in a row, trebles, 100 points, and I've got Tottenham fans taking the piss out of me, all due respect. What's going on?
Is that not one of the reasons why some of our fans are reacting the way they are and going, you know, criticizing and going on with the critics because they're not handling some of the backlash, I suppose, if you like, or some of the
they're not used to it.
So they're getting frustrated because of what other rival fans are saying and just not handling it well. But it's like
100%.
We should be relishing all whatever's going on right now because it just tells us where they are.
Better put.
It's people always want to. They get frustrated and they swing out. And it's what it is. We've all got to handle it the way we handle it. We should.
It makes it even more better when we do come back. To be fair, because then it's like, well, what's your excuse?
Well, I don't know. Martin heard this earlier. I don't know if any of you have seen or heard this, but if we don't qualify for Champions League football, and we qualify for the
That's
Europa
going
League.
back to Stamford Bridge.
Oh,
No.
Istanbul, bring it on.
The final for 2025-2026 Europa League is in Istanbul. Yeah. So Pep might be getting
He's cooking.
one song out in Istanbul, right? And listen, I know there's a lot of City fans that if we get to do Navizad Street one more time, who says no? Who says no?
But some of the Europa League aways as well. Give me random places in like Azerbaijan.
What, you want to go to Kazakhstan, do you? I wouldn't trust you in Kazakhstan.
I've got the mustache to be Borat.
You've not got. You've not.
Have a nice.
I have a wife.
I like you.
My wife, she is dead.
My wife.
Okay, I have a new
Right.
one.
Anyway, Danny, how many points out of the next 4?
7 points. 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Ooh, lost tomorrow.
Oh, lost to Leicester.
Oh,
Stinks over there.
One. Yeah.
Jamie,
because that's
Jamie Vardy's good for a goal against us every time.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Leicester have often got results against us. Not in
Vardy is going to score. That's a fair point.
Got beat off.
Me, 5.
I think we're going 12 points.
Oh,
I love the. Come on,
because that's the thing. One thing that people are really not thinking about. We're giving Pep 7 days to prepare to a game. Pep is the best coach we've ever seen on the planet.
I do think
right. People not really
7 days. It's thick and fast again.
Yes, I'm counting we don't get any new injuries though. Right, like I'm hoping that we don't get any new injuries. We're able to play still.
Do you think? Because I think this week, having 5 days off since the derby, it's come at perfect time for us, right?
Yes.
I remember there's been, if we go back to like when Vinny was still about, sometimes we'd have bad results and they'd be given a day off training and they go out, I think once to Laser Quest or whatever, and just take their minds off things. I just feel like this is where we can't get a break. That I think that would have helped us having a couple of days off and a week of just relaxing a little bit, not having the pressure of a Carabao Cup game. But then the news that Diaz isn't here would have put a few players' heads down again because they're like,
it's like I said, 1 step forward, 7 steps back at the minute, isn't it?
I noticed no one's talking
just
about the Edison injury yet.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it is an injury either.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Oh, Ortega's statement was sensational. You know when he said, sometimes moments like this can be a good thing. Well, they are for you, Ortega. 100%.
Ortega sat there and went, Saudi have done me a favour. Saudi have done me a favour.
But I also don't think we're going to keep Ortega either. I think we're going to probably sell him.
No,
he's probably going to.
I think we keep him, and I think Edison goes. I think we keep Ortega.
I think both go.
I think if someone like Mike Mancunian walks through the door, he is first choice.
I don't think Ortega is good enough to be the first choice.
What?
I don't think so. I don't think his distribution is at the level we need when we're cooking. I feel like he gets the problem. The problem of his distribution is not actually where the ball goes; it's how the ball goes. Yeah. Sometimes he puts too much power. He puts too much airtime into the ball, and that's very, very bad when you're trying to play out of the back because that gives the defender time to react when he tries to switch. And I don't think he can improve on that very much because he's already 30, I think,
32.
He's 32. So he's not going to improve. He's only going to decline. So I don't think he's actually going to be. He's going to be good enough for us to be the first.
I think for that reason, I would say that I would imagine.
Danny, by the way,
we might bring in a younger keeper and keep one of Edison or Ortega. I do think that I'll be honest with you. Obviously, right now where we are, it's the last thing we're talking about is how long Pep stays. But I think Pep is probably staying to see us through this a period of change. Like I don't think Pep is going, and so I don't think Pep wants to leave us with an old squad. So Pep is here, and I think that's probably why it's 1 year plus 1 year, because I think they probably said, what?
No, imagine
Oh, well.
Haaland gets injured. No, I'm not imagining that.
Well, we're done.
Mine's up.
Just end the season. Just end the season.
I would imagine it's probably Pep. Give us a year to bring in players in January, bring in players in the summer, see where we are. Because look, we've got to remember he's got a very good relationship with everyone at City, and with Tiki going, I think they probably said, "Look, don't leave us at the same time. We need to see through."
100%. 100%.
I agree. I think that's. I think that
Anyway,
Yeah.
Martin, 5 points for me.
5.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
well.
Five is me being.
That's it.
I think we beat West Ham. I think the way West Ham play, I think that will be the game where we get our win. I can't see anything in Villa. I'm not going to lie to you. So then we're looking at Leicester and Everton
Draws.
Look, if we can, I would like to say we can beat Everton, but we played Everton. We've drawn against Everton when we've been far better than this, and so. Look, if I say
they're always a dangerous side under Sean
yeah.
Dyche as well, no matter who he's against. Because they will just look to go for a 0-0. So if Sean Dyche could have 38 0-0s in a season, he would take it.
And I think the thing about Everton that I'm not too worried about is that they don't have the pace and the counter-attack to punish us.
True.
And that's something that's going to allow our attackers to play with a little bit more freedom. I think they fear when teams have a lot of pace in the counter because they don't trust the backline enough to deal with it. I think the same thing might happen against Leicester as well. And Ruud van Nistelrooy, from the time he coached Man United, he's a very man-to-man type of manager, right? You defend man-to-man, you win your individual duels and stuff. And I think if they try and do the same thing that Nottingham Forest did, we're probably going to have enough quality to punish them as well. The same way we did to Nottingham Forest, were a much better side than Leicester.
Yeah, I think the key on probably, I'm not going to say Villa, but the key on certainly the Everton game is we need Haaland to have a good game against Everton, and that's where Haaland needs to probably come back, because Everton have always been quite physical with him. It's been, I think, from what I remember, I'm pretty certain I went to the last 2 Everton home games, and they're both very physical games where it's a lot of pushing, shoving.
Well, yeah, he had that beef with Ben.
Yeah,
to be fair,
where he gave him the.
To be fair, I don't actually think it's on Haaland against Everton. I think it's on Foden. They leave quite a lot of space in the edge of the box where Foden likes to pick up the ball and tries bob shots or tries through balls.
He did against United, didn't he? He did against United. He was starting to cook in those areas.
He took a few shots, to be fair, and De Bruyne had.
I feel like against Everton, he's going to have a little bit more space to do it because they don't back that area of the pitch as much. They try to defend the wide regions more and leave 3-4 centre backs inside the box to deal with the crosses. So yeah.
One last thing I want to say, right? And me and Steve really, really noticed it. Bratislava away. We're watching Doku, and we're watching Haaland's body language whenever Doku got the ball, right? And it was very, fuck's sake, I'm not going to get it, right? Kind of body language.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, this is not slander on Doku at all. Let me be clear, right? Because Doku has his qualities. Now, I watched the way Doku was playing against Man United, and I've come to this. Most of you are probably already here, but Doku, when he gets the ball, he is not looking where any player is, right? Doku's objective is beat this player, and then I'll think about what I'm going to do. And I'll have a millisecond to either do something great or maybe not so, right? And that's what he was doing all game, right? And unfortunately, when that is happening, Haaland's kind of his body language becomes he starts making less runs, and it's I ain't going to get the ball, so what's the point? The minute Grealish came on, when Grealish gets the ball, the first thing he does is scan for where is Haaland, right? And his objective is not, I must beat this player and then think about it. Where is Haaland? I must get this ball to Haaland, right? I don't know what the answer is, by the way. I'm just saying it is very clear now to me between the two players. And that's where I actually think Savio at the start of the season was spot on.
He was perfect.
Whereas now Savio is becoming a bit like Doku, where it's, I must get a goal. I must get a goal. I must get a goal. And it's like, you're not thinking about the team here, mate.
Yeah,
And
he's become too fixated with it, hasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like
and
it's
we have to
very
be
heavy on his
honest.
mind.
Yeah, but that doesn't help, Daps, when half the stadium's going, shoo, every 30 seconds.
Oh, 100% agree with that.
I hear that again in the stadium when they're 45 yards out from goal. Walker's 30, 40 yards out. Shoot, Foden, shoot,
Oh,
Grealish, shoot. I'm like,
well, listen, if I hear best defense in Europe one more
yeah,
fucking
that came
time.
out against Forest.
Oh, I was saying this last season. Listen, treble season, we had every right to sing that song. When that is our go-to song and we're defending the way we're defending, it's like, fucking hell, man. Like, it's the other one is, I'll be honest with you, we love him to bits, but I'm sick and tired of hearing Johnny Stones when he's not even on the fucking bench.
Yeah, I'm sat there going, invisible man, invisible man.
I mean, the best one
Johnny Stones, invisible man.
Look, the one song we can sing right now is "We Never Win at Home and We Never Win Away." Let's
No,
just
we can
sing
sing in a minute. City lose 10 in a row.
Shall I get the tattoo out?
Actually, the best
Back
one
to the
was when we
classics.
when we went 1-0 up against United, and we were all just singing fucking "We're staying up, we're staying up, we're staying, City's staying up." But
well, I don't know. We've only got 27 points. You both said the league in the next four.
we can't remember
going down
seasons ago when Chelsea were doing the 30 points as a target. No, we're not that bad.
We're not that bad. Come on.
Do you know what we're doing? We're going to be found innocent at the 115. So what a 130. So what we're doing is we're trying to get relegated on our own back now.
Yeah.
Fine with your old selves.
Listen, last season, Pep's last season, we do a championship. We win the championship. We win the Europa League.
You've got this thing going back to Istanbul, haven't you?
Just to reminisce, we take the Carabao Cup series again and go and win one of them as well.
City going. We're
The
getting
new
our
treble.
PSR ready for the championship. We're going up, we're going down. Right. Who hasn't done their points total? Luke.
Have I not?
No.
10.
So I've said 10. Hong, you said
I think a draw tomorrow.
6. Sports talk. What did you say?
I'm going to say 8. I reckon 2 wins, 2 draws. Starting with a draw.
To be fair,
Yeah, I'm going to say draw probably against Villa. That's me being very optimistic. Probably draw against Everton, and then beat West Ham and beat Leicester. So I reckon we'll probably
Now,
get that.
before we go, I'm just going to do this. I did forget to do this because Luke did throw in another 5 gifting subs earlier on, which I did not see. So thank you so much, mate. You are a superstar. So much. Before we go, just to remind everyone, tomorrow on Big Up, live at 12 p.m, there is a watch along with myself. City Luke may join, he may not, we'll see. But we're going to do a watch along over on Big Up. Pardon?
When did I agree to this?
Well, I did message you on WhatsApp like 3 days ago, but like normal, you don't respond.
so that's taken as a yes.
You haven't put the camera back on, so I can't. You couldn't.
And don't
see my
forget
face
as well,
was
don't
joking.
forget, you got till Monday the 23rd of December to get over to footballprizes.co.uk and win yourself a chance of 2 hospitality tickets for City versus Everton. The draw is ending on 7:30 on Monday. Tickets are 39p each.
Hey Mark,
And
look at the size of that. Look how little it is.
wow, that is. And you can tell it's a real one because it's
The whole
actually
badge.
got the
Umbro badge, yeah.
an actual embroidered badge. I'm going to say this right before we go. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone. Now, there will be a post-match on Villa, but it's a Friday night. So what I want to say is wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, however you celebrate. But I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for the support on this show, this channel.
Is that his ass?
I don't know what he's doing. Is that his elbow?
I can't remember. I do know where he got his tat, but I can't remember where it is. Right, I think it is his elbow. He got it on.
That's his elbow, isn't it?
It's his elbow, isn't it? Yeah. He
So
ain't got,
glad it
he
is
ain't
his
got an
elbow.
ass that fucking bony.
Well, I was looking how wrinkly it was, so I was wondering. But anyway, I want to say, is it his foot? I don't know. A massive thank you to everyone. Don't forget when we hit 5k on this channel.
It's on my knee.
That's it.
Right, there
You
will
assuming-
be we will get 2 home tickets for a game at the Etihad, subject to availability, of course, and when you're free and everything else. Plus, you will get a shirt bought for you for going to that game, have some fun with. So you'll get a shirt and 2 home tickets, subject to availability.
Salford, guaranteed win. Salford.
Well, as long as we hit
I do-
5K before then, we are
I
200.
do have one for Everton if anyone wants it.
We are 2. You're not going to Everton either, you're right? Miserable son.
can't.
I can't get
No.
up there. 12:30.
Yeah, public transport. Is
No,
on
City stop
Sunday.
winning and Luke gives up. We are 200.
Where were you on Sunday? Hang on. Reel it back. Where were you on Sunday?
It's Mr. Dodge the Derby.
Oh,
Excuse
I'm
me,
in
I
Prague.
was
When
in
really
Prague.
you sat in your
I've
fucking
come back
house.
from Prague. Not my fault.
Yeah, right. Or
Love to go and look at Christmas decorations. And support your
Are you
team.
going to
Are they
Salford?
twiddling your thumbs
Are
in
you
your
going to
house?
Salford?
Yeah, why not?
I don't think that's any of your business.
I don't know.
Oh, well, it now. Anyway.
But to answer your question, I'm not. Because I have
Well, I
commitments
am,
that day.
because I'm on the cup scheme. It's kiss me ass.
I am on
Anyway.
the cup scheme, but it'll be a giveaway again. So,
No, a massive thank you. So I want to wish everyone a very, very happy Christmas. Look after yourselves, look after your family, your loved ones, everything. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, however you spend it. Look after yourselves. And I know 2024, the end of it has not been great from a City point of view, but we did win a few trophies before it.
We're still champions of England. We're still champions of the world.
If you're going to Villa tomorrow, stay safe. Like I said, there is a watch along. There may be a space, but I know Hamza's doing a space now. So, and we may just go all invade Hamza's space and have some fun over there.
Well, that's full of knobheads, though, Hamza's spaces. I'm not going to lie with you, Martin.
Well, I don't know. He ends up with Arsenal and Chelsea fans and all sorts in the middle of it.
Madrid.
Why am I debating this lot?
That is exactly what I said. A Hamza space is full of
So,
knobheads.
from my point of view, Merry Christmas. Enjoy.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
We will be
Martin,
back Sunday.
good luck on Never a Foul on Monday.
Is there a show?
Cass, is there a show on Monday? Oh, 1,000,000%. Sorry.
Oh, bloody hell, it's Christmas. Tell him to have a week off.
He can't have a week off. He must work.
I really want to say, though, because I promised to do this, massive apologies to everyone over at Never a Foul as well.
No, and thank you to
Have a
everything.
wonderful time.
And happy. Listen, we've got how many days left? What's the date today? The 20th. We got 11 days, and we might actually start buying players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, glorious. Thank you. Those pep quotes are making my head hot. I want some today.
the embargo press conference has come out.
Oh, wow. Oh, hang on before we go anywhere. What's he said?
Just about
Is he saying the same thing?
many of the goals we conceded, we give them away, we give them. It's not about one. Oh, Jesus. Work harder and try and give confidence to the players themselves. Back to our basics. We're a strong team. Come back to the side. Try and get results. Our mood will lift. Our game will be better. Accept the situation. This is what I want to transmit to the team. Don't pretend about big targets like winning the league. We're in the position we are. Accept it as much as you accept it. We're not at our best. We will be better. Oscar Bob still didn't train with the team. It's a question of the bone, and when it's fixed, not in pain, he'll be ready. For his physicality, with some weeks of training, he will get a little bit of rhythm, not like pre-season, but similar. I think Cheeky is doing the same, thinking what we can do if you have to do something in winter or summer. He will be involved in the window, talking with the club with Hugo, maybe especially when he'll finish his part in Lisboa. Erling Haaland, I see him well, I see him fine. And the reason why maybe he's not so productive at the moment is that we are playing so far away from him and we don't produce the amount of chances that we always were able to in the past. Changing to a false nine, no, I prefer to play with Haaland. I didn't think in a situation we have, don't play Erling. Absolutely not. No, I don't think about that. Haaland is irreplaceable.
We ain't got no one to do the false nine neither, let's be honest. And you know what? Haaland actually plays, he seems to be trying.
Oh, yeah, he's got a quarter young players. We've not been good 45 days. We've had incredible results for 8 years. Difference. Everything is in our mind. You have to get back to the results, especially with the players back. Pep on snubbing young players. In the period we have, I want to give the senior players the responsibility The last game, for example, against United, I thought about putting Jamal in. He could play like he played really good. Young players are ready to come in, always ready. The young players are always that they have the ability, don't defend anything in terms of the past, and they are free and they can do it. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's unfair, maybe I'm wrong, but I have the feeling in that moment players have to show and prove who we are. What we have done in the past, I have to give them the keys to try and lead us out of this situation. So there you go. That's why he's not doing it. Because he wants to give the teams, the players who gave us the joy and put us in this shit, the chance to get us out of the shit.
I'll tell
Fair
you one
enough.
thing: we should be getting Fabian Delph in the staff as a staff member just to shout the basics in the dressing room.
Yeah. Jessica, Hamza thinks you don't like him because you shout at him.
Yeah, of course. Oh goodness. So yeah, I was just gonna say about the young players bit.
Sorry, lads, I'm going to jump off now. Love to everyone. Merry
Cheers.
Christmas.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Take care,
we're going
Daz.
to end in
All the
1
best.
minute. Cheers.
Have a
I
good
was
one.
gonna say
All
about
the
the young
best over
players.
never a foul, mate.
Yeah, I was gonna play about the young players. Like, there's a reason why Pep ain't playing them, because I think I was gonna say something maybe along those lines. Like, come on, it's more like he's saying to Gundogan, Bernardo, you put us in this mess, you got to get us out of it. So the last thing he wants is to put a young player there, and we don't win a game, and their confidence is shot, and they won't be seeing the pitch as well. So that's what it is. So I think just got to be positive, and just hopefully that we'll get a positive result of Villa tomorrow.
Yeah. What's going to help us finally pick up points? I don't think it's that players are going into each game thinking we're going to lose. It's as soon as the opposition score, doubts creep in. And what I'm hoping is the next few games, they learn to cope and deal with those sort of situations where, okay, we are, let's say, on the off chance 2-0 up, the opposition gets one back. What are we doing then? How are we managing the game? Then that's going to be the key component. Once they overcome that, we'll see a pattern emerge and we'll start to get that run going.
Yeah, 100%. And I just hope, got to start doing it anyway. It's like going look, I know for a fact Manchester City will start winning football matches again. It's just a matter of when, not if. So
I mean, we were actually in winning positions. This is a weird thing. We were winning. We just hand the game away, and it's just a case of now just seeing the job out and see where we go from there.
Hope we can. Hopefully we can start with tomorrow. Even though I want to see us win, even though I won't be surprised if we drop points.
Yeah,
it's not dilly-dallying.
A massive thank you to all our guests. Hong, City Luke, Spartacus, Sports Talk, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Get
so
over
much.
to City Luke TV. Show him a lot of love. He's had some
Thank you very
amazing
much.
guests lately.
Yeah, I've been blessed, been fortunate to have some of them on. Faraz, FG, some people might know him as. Big Steve, of course. And Martin, as always. Martin, a huge guest on the channel, as always. Massively appreciate you coming on. So, yeah, I thought I'd have this opportunity tonight to derail a little bit. So if I've offended anyone with any of my comments, I do apologise. Martin knows that I go on a tangent on my streams. Much more than this. So if you like tangents where we sometimes talk about City and then don't, about 2 hours of the stream is just waffle, then get over to City Luke TV. There is a video going out tonight as well after this stream, previewing Villa. Not live, it's pre-recorded because I'm tired. And as Martin knows and some viewers know, this is silly hour for me. I'm never normally up at this time, ever. So, yeah. That's
No twang.
Why does someone have to reference fucking Rainbow? Why? That's the only time I've been
Boonet, just go back and watch. We've been on for nearly 2 hours. Appreciate it. This is, don't forget, big up tomorrow, 12 p.m.
I will be there.
Start. It is free.
I might not be there for 12 p.m. by the way, because I'm out, but I will be there for kickoff.
So yeah, I want to say massive thank you from everyone from the channel, from myself, Rich, Ozzy, from Pat, from everyone who has been involved, who's been on the panels this year. Thank you so much. We will be back for a post-match Aston Villa But if we get beat, it's going to be Sunday. We're going to let everything calm down emotionally. We'll do it Sunday.
Martin's face ain't appearing on Saturday if we beat.
Tomorrow, I will let you know. I think I'm on Hussam's in the evening. 11, I'll say. Hussam's in the evening. There'll be nothing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're off completely. So have a wonderful time, wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
Take care.
Merry
lads.
Christmas.
All the
Take
best.
care.
Good night. Good night.
Merry